red, blue, purple light. Friends, red, blue, purple light. Friends, facts, red, blue, purple light. Friends, red and blue, purple light. Friends, facts. You can get to know the ledger, sacrilegious Sunday to melanin Monday. You can get to know the ledger, my love. Just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road. You better stay on your toes. I was telling land, focused on the ego. Then I opened my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah, we gon' put this shit on our backs. Facts, facts, we in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, facts, peace, love and light. Peace, love to the family. Peace, love and light to the family. Peace, love and light to the family.
These days and time, black man, is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck you feel, I don't know what you feel, but whatever you may be feeling is going to push you and it's going to provoke you, and it's either going to make you or break you, similar to how pressure busts pipes or the shit makes diamonds.
Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Know the Ledger. You are now rocking with the best. Yes, this is your host, Brother Red Pillar. And that song that you just heard right there, that's the F.A.C.T.S remix. Let me know how we sound on the audio. Let me know how we sound on the audio. We sounding good? We sounding good? All right, awesome, awesome. Let me know at any point when we have any issues with the sound, all right? So I could fix it, okay? Peace, love, and light to everybody pulling up in the building. Peace, love, and light to everybody pulling up in the building. I just want to say greetings. Happy Monday to all. All right. Today we're going to have a conversation. All right. And this one is going to be dealing with our endeavors, our new initiative that we are moving forward with. All right. First and foremost, I want to give a special shout out to everybody who have been tapping in, sending emails, responding to the call of action, right? Showing their interest, showing their willingness to participate, and showing their support for the call that we made for our quote unquote common unity initiative, right? Common unity initiative. So shout out to everybody who's been reaching out. I'm gonna make sure to send y'all this video. All right. Um yeah. Let us do the roll call. Let's see who's in the building, and then we're gonna proceed with today's episode. All right. Today's episode, we're gonna be dealing with all of the things that this initiative is speaking about. So you could become very familiar with the initiative that we are moving with. All right. Shout out to everybody that's in the building. Salute. All right. We got Orange, New Jersey in the building. Shout out to Orange. Shout out to Vegas. All right. Shout out to Minneapolis. Shout out to Trenton, New Jersey. Shout out to Harlem. Shout out to Tucson. New Rochelle in the building. We got Cleveland in the building. Dr. Manhattan in the building. Pennsylvania's in the building. Khalifa's in the building. Denver's in the building. Brooklyn in the building. All right. Got Trenton in the building. Cali is in the building. All right, man. Family tapping in. All right. Brooklyn. We got Sandy Springs, Minnesota. So shout out to the family tapping in from all around the world. Shout out to the family tapping in from all around the grid. Shout out to the family tapping in from all around the states. Chicago is in the building. Baltimore is in the building. DMV is in the building. Shout out to everybody tapping in from all around the world. The Mandem across the pond. All four corners of this planet. Salute to everybody. We are definitely in for a powerful build. We are definitely in for a powerful build. And yes, later on, we are going to be having special guests. Melanin Monday. I got Ross Ben, Ra Aku in the building. We're going to be building on the American gods. All right. So that's going to be coming up later. Make sure that you tune into that. Classic. That's going to be monumental. Okay. And also to celebrate the release of this album, Voltron, and the support that we've been getting, I was having I got an epiphany, and the epiphany was like, you should play a new song on your shows. Like you should definitely play at least one track every show. Now that this album is out, you should at least play one new track because there's 12 of them every show. Not only to get that track some spins, but to let the people hear what you just created. You know what I mean? Your art. You, your brother, and Kambada. You know what I'm saying? That's something that people need to hear every day and be reminded of. Because when life gets hard, you could always go and turn on the Voltron album. When life gets hard, when shit gets difficult, you could always go to the Voltron album. It's going to do what it needs to do for you. And that's only volume one. When life gets hard, when it gets challenging, you go and throw that Voltron volume. I'm telling you, it's gonna hit differently. I was at I went to an art festival in Grant Park, right? That's in Atlanta. My mom's called me and was like, "Yo, come out here." And it was an art festival with a lot of. It was humongous. It was huge, and I was like, first I was walking through there and I didn't have the music on. Then I put the music on. I had some headphones on. I turned the music on, Voltron, and bro, I was literally in my own world. I seen people talking to me, but I promise you I didn't hear them. It felt like I was walking in a movie, bro. And everybody that was around me was just they became the scenery. I was inside the album. The album is very active. It's not passive. It is very active. Like, play that album when you drive in, turn it up loud. You know what I'm talking about? Turn it up loud. Have that shit on loud. Uh when you're walking around, you might wanna, you know what I mean? You might wanna even have it on the Bluetooth and let other people hear it. But I'm very, very proud of what we created. You know? Very, very pleased and what we cooked up. Okay? And I think that you will be very pleased as well when you hear it. It's made for all types of fans, all types of musical connoisseurs. You feel me? It's put together for a lot of people who enjoy music. Sonically, best sounding album that I've ever been a part of. It's a concept album, so it definitely is going to take you through different time zones sonically. It's going to take you through different flows, different frequencies. You dig? Uh, all kind of things, different emotions, different feelings. You name it, it's going to take you there. So yeah, make sure you check out the art. You know what I mean? Because it's one thing to get the science. But if you want to get the full picture, you got to get the arts and the sciences because we're artists and scientists at the same damn time, you know? And you can't have one without the other. It's the Academy of Arts and Sciences, right? It's not just science, but it's also art. Because think about it. When you really think about it, right? It's of no coincidence that some of your favorite artists, right, rapper artists, are actually artists. They are actually real artists as well. They draw, they paint, they do comic books, right? You said, where can we hear it? Great question. Thank you for asking that. You can hear it when you buy it. That's where you can hear it. When you get the digital download, that's where you can hear it. There goes the website right there. You could scan it. We're not currently on Bandcamp. The Bandcamp release will probably be this week. And when I upload it to Bandcamp, you could still hear the what you mean call it? uh you could still hear you'll be able to hear samples of every single song. I'm gonna make sure that I get that going ASAP. But right now we are not on the what they call streaming digital streaming platforms. We did that on purpose because we are actually boycotting. You want to, to boycott Target. Yes, yes, boycott Target, boycott Spotify and the other streaming platforms while you're at it. You feel me? Because they're doing bad to the artists. They are actively robbing people, and I will not participate in that malarkey. So we have a website, right? It's on chemistry.com, and there goes your digital download. Or if you're a super fan, you would get the bundle, right? If you're a super fan and you're a collector and you know that these things will only go up in its value and whatnot, then you go ahead and you get the collector items. So that's on chemistry.com. And yeah, CDs have been coming in the mail. People have been getting their CDs. And shout out to everybody that's been posting their CDs. We see ya. Keep on posting them. Everybody that's out there. The best way that you could be of assistance, because this is, once again, this is one of those experiments where we're saying, you know what? We're going to go ahead and we're going to put the power in the hands of the people. We don't want to talk about the corporations. We don't want to badmouth the corporations. We don't want to expose the corporations. We don't want to, speak of the evils of the traditional record industry, right? The old school record industry, and then go right behind and get a record deal and be with a record industry and be inside of the record industry. What use would that be? Why would I work hard and create this level of art? Why would I put my blood, sweat, and tears and my creative ashe into any of this artwork just to put it into the hands of the people who, historically, systematically, and intentionally is robbing people. Yes, it is available on vinyl. It's available on vinyl. It's available as cassettes, and it's available as CDs. And when you buy each one of them, you get the digital download. But yes, the vinyl is available. Now, the thing with the vinyl, ladies and gentlemen, and I need your assistance, if you don't mind. I would like the assistance of the crowd, the audience, right? The fans, right? For the vinyl, we want to put out a contest for the album cover design. Okay. Because we did agree collectively that this is going to be the cover for the CD, right? It's digital and it's AI on purpose because there's going to be a visual. Remember, this is a soundtrack. Voltron is a soundtrack, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you know it or not. It's a concept album and it's also doubles as a soundtrack, but it's a concept album and, it's basically an animated film, right? However, there's also another side of Voltron that is not that is not that. It's basically, that's why we're rolling out real videos, real, you know what I mean? But then it's also doubles as an animated album or animated film or, whatever. We want somebody that's out there to be a part of our quote unquote history. And we're giving the opportunities for an artist out there, right, to be a part of what we got going on and design the album cover that's going to be a part of the vinyl releases, right? So we may have about 3 different covers, right? We're going to have the AI cover. You get an opportunity to choose that. You get an opportunity to choose the other 2 covers, and that's going to be the vinyl that you'll receive. And in that vinyl, it's going to have, special caveats to it. I do have a special album cover that I'm going to share. Very proud of this. This is his first foray into design, right? But who knows? Who knows? It may be his first of many quote unquote forays. There you go. My son designed that right there. That's my son's first album cover right there. You feel me? That is my son's first album cover. So I don't know. He may be he may win the race. He may come up in the number 1 in the run-ins. But yeah, my son even threw his hat in the ring. You feel me? There you go. You know? So if he threw his hat in the ring, then that means that we all have an opportunity to do it. But I do want to, matter of fact, that's a perfect opportunity for me to show the process, right? So check out the process. Y'all feeling that? They like, yo, that's awesome, yo. That shit fire. Right? You feel me? Little man did his thing, right? Little man did his thing. So we gonna see what comes to it, right? But look, dead ass. I gave him a job, and he did it, right? So boom. Then I fed it through Allen Iverson. You feel me? I fed it to Allen Iverson. And look what Allen Iverson came back with. You know? So that's the flex right there. The flex is to have the babies do the initial artwork, right? You copyright that, right? Or you make that a part of the you blow that up, you put that on covers and whatnot, you put that on TV on t-shirt designs. You take the artwork as the initial artwork. You make them do the foundation of it. Then you take the foundation of the artwork, and what do? You memorialize it, you brand it, you make it part of something, right? And then you take the AI and you upgrade it with the AI, but they have the initial artwork. So when the AI shit pops off, they get credit for all of that. You see how that works? It's almost like they own the master, right? They'll own the first layer, and you build on top of the first layer, and you make things like comics, toys, or whatever. But the initial layer comes from them. That's like their patent. That's their trademark. That's their copyright. And all they got to do is the artwork that they do, whatever level that is. Whatever level of artwork, it don't matter what age they are. They all got some sort of artwork. So that's kind of how you immortalize the children's uh imagination, right? So here's the process. That's the process, right? So that's what he designed, right? So I gave him a job, right? He gets paid for this job. Okay? I gave him a job. I said, yo, I need a robot. You know what I'm talking about? He was like, got it, right? Because he does this with birds and whatnot. He makes birds. He has a whole sanctuary of birds that he literally makes with construction paper. Nobody taught him this. Nobody told him how to do it. He literally just started cutting up construction paper. First, he does the outline with the Sharpie. He cuts the outline out of the pieces and he puts them together like Voltron. Right? So I'm like, there goes that artistic blood flowing through your veins. You know what I mean? That's, you know what I'm saying? That's my boy right there. Right? Boom. So you do that. That's the Voltron album cover, right? I'm like, yo, we in a sweepstakes, young man. Let's get in the sweepstakes together. Right? Boom. Then you turn it into that. Right? You turn the art, you turn this. This is the foundation. This is the copyright. This is the trademark. This is the masters. Understand what this is. This is the masters. This is how you take homework, day work, homeschool shit, and you monetize it. This is how you create. This is like an NFT. This is a masters. This is not a doodle. This is not, no, this is a masters. Then boom, you turn it into that. Now, when you turn it into this, you could breathe life into this. Sort of like how people consecrate toys or dolls. You breathing life into it is basically just giving it a voice. Remember when we would watch Transformers and it's Megatron and they had the big one that was like the planet and whatnot? You didn't know how dangerous he was until he says something. Right? Galacticus. You give it the ill voice on 11 Labs, or you use the open source Fish or whatever ones that they have. They got open source 11 Labs. You can make this thing a powerful voice. Unicron. When you heard Unicron, it was like earth shattering. So you give this character right here a voice and a character arc is what they call it. You build out a story around him. That is called the mythos. That's called Fable 5. And then you put him in the story. Every day you write a story and you basically put him in a narrative. He could take the revenge against all of your Illuminati enemies. People gang stalking you, well, send a robot at Robot Voltron Force. This is that's the big bat robot man. That's the robot man with the key in his hand. That's the biggest robot man. So now you own the masters. Let's go back. You own this This is the masters. That nobody. So you know when when they come out with a character and then they send in fan art and somebody makes a depiction of the character. No, reverse that. That's not how. That's not, the money is not there. That's not where the money is. The money is to follow it through this route. You start the character. You make the character. You make the seed. This is called the seed of the, when you prompt the AI and they give you the seed of an image and whatnot. Use the baby's real life artwork. Remember, you can't copyright AI. You can copyright this. You can't copyright AI. This cannot be copyrighted. You can't own this, right? But you can copyright this. Okay? This is what you copyright. This is the beginning. This is what you own. You put it in a trust. You put it in the children's name. You do this all day, every day. You don't have to stop. I'm going to show you the birds one day. We're going to do a whole bird thing with his designs. And I'm going to show you how I took his birds and turned them into an entire book, a school book. His birds is now homeschooling children. His birds that he created out of his mind and his unique way and whatnot. I ran it through the AI. I put all of the birds. I made them claymation birds. You feel me? I made them stop motion birds, and I made them birds inside of a whole entire workbook. So yeah, this is how you turn the children's imagination into a quote unquote product. Into a product. And then they monetize it and they turn it up. You know that you could actually dance in a video and make that robot do the same type of TikTok dance. This robot could be doing spin that. It could be doing the Young Money dance, the Young Miami dance. It could be doing the spin that shit dance, right? So if your kids know how to dance, they could turn that image right there into a video of them dance. That thing could be dancing just like them. They could do the voiceover of these things. I mean, the sky's the limit. This shit could be on YouTube, animated videos on YouTube, the same way that Baby Shark and Coco Melon is. What are we talking about? That you got all you got to do is spin that shit. Get your tokens. YouTube is purging AI content aggressively, right? And the Chinese YouTube rival just set up shop the other day. So we going to China. We got the China flow, right? So that's just one little caveat on how to go ahead and monetize it. But back to the album cover. Y'all let me know which one we should go with. I like this right here as the Voltron album cover. This is fire. I would listen to this vinyl right here. Like if I went into the record store, if I went into Tower Records, I would buy this shit right here. I'm like, what the hell? It's three. What, you know what I mean? Because think about the look at the anomaly of it. It's grown man bars on this project. It's like it goes deep. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not backpack rap. It's like God hop rap. You know what I mean? It goes deep. So it's like a little child wrote. You know, you see the dichotomy. You love the paper characters, right? That's fire. That's fire. So and then we have this cover right here too. This cover is fire as well. I like this. This definitely looks like a album cover. That would sound like the project that we've got. That was this definitely looks, you know what I mean? If somebody said like it's MF Doom, right? Like this is that Disclosure. This is that Third Eye Atlas. This is that Voltron Volume 1. I like this. I like this. You said which one would they buy in China and Japan? What was you talking about, Rob? You know? But we're gonna have different covers though. But if you listening to this and you do covers, like, yeah, you take advantage of this. because that window was gonna close soon. Said, you said I'm gonna need all three. God damn it. Oh, the one that my son did, right? Right, right. This is definitely some Japan shit right here. This is that Jap. Yeah, yeah. This a fly in Japan. This a fly all over Europe for sure. But yeah, man. You know, yeah. The Chinese YouTube is called Billy Billy. So we need to go and explore Billy Billy. We went over there with the Imaginarium the other day, and we was checking out Billy Billy. You know what I'm saying? And Billy Billy is that's the Chinese YouTube. So we're gonna explore it more. Yeah, this one is fire. But let's continue because that is something that we're gonna explore many of that. Well, that's actually a part of this solution, ladies and gentlemen. That's actually a part of this initiative, ladies and gentlemen. What better way to start this conversation but to show you that ye are rich? What better way to start this conversation but to show you how you literally could be a digital nomad and you can monetize the skills of the children without selling them to the beast, without having to sell them to Hollywood, without having to sell them into perpetual slavery and perpetuity, right? Without having to sell them to the highest bidder and whatnot, right? No, their skills in this attention economy and this creator economy, their skills in this gig economy that we live in this digital economy, there's natural born skills. I tell every parent, content is king. You want to film your children. Of course, make sure to hold the footage inside of a safe or somewhere very safe in hard drives that are protected. But you definitely want to film those children who have great personalities, who are naturally funny, the ones that are made for the camera, you know, because they grow and they're not always going to be two, three, four, five, six, you know, but that footage could be utilized for some very powerful quote unquote content in the very near future, right? You may be able to take raw footage like that and create an entire 2 hour movie that you prompt out, that you and your as the child grows up, they could be a part of the production of their own childhood movies and things of that nature. You feel me? So, yes, that's how it's working. So, ladies and gentlemen, I did a thing the other day. I was on Brother Rich's channel and we were having this conversation about the disaster that was taking place inside of black ass Gary, Indiana. And they were going on 12 days without electricity, without power, and some of the bare essentials, right? In lieu of what was being said, I made the statement that, you know, I didn't name any names because I didn't want to be that messy. I was just being a little messy on aisle cleanup on aisle number 6. I didn't want to be super messy and I didn't want to be too accusatory, right? I just wanted to make a broad statement that when it comes to these organizations, that we are under the impression that this is their job, right? When we're under the impression that this is their lane, right? Because inside of social media and inside of this community, these communities that we belong to, we assign people to specific lanes and whatnot. So I was under the impression that that lane of helping our people, or that lane where people are basically doing the social activists, right? Who are, signed up to not only be the voice of the voiceless, but also to be at the aid and the beckoning and calling of our people in times of crisis. I was under the impression that this was something that that our people was doing, right? I was also under the impression that some of the rappers right? Some of the athletes, some of the quote unquote financial advisors and the financial community. I just thought for some moment that they would be a part of the solution and that they would go live and say, hey, we're sending $50,000 worth of goods down there. They would go live and say, hey, as a result of the F.A.C.T.S being so successful, and I did mess up and say something against black people, and we all going, viral every day for the wrong reasons. Hey, I'm gonna prove the haters mad and just cut it. I'm just swipe $100,000 and donate it to the people in Gary, Indiana, or I'm gonna send a truck down there with one of my trucker friends. You know what I mean? And we're all gonna get together the same way that we got together at the VIP Black Tie Affair and send some bread to Gary. Like we're gonna send 100 generators, right? Like I thought things like that were just gonna happen, but it didn't. And Brother Rich said, well, what are you doing? And I was like, word, that was a great question, because I didn't want to use no excuse. I didn't want to become an excuse type of person and be like, nah, that's not my lane. My lane is to watch it happen, right? I didn't want to say that. You know what I mean? I didn't want to say on a show in front of thousands of people that, yeah, when I was coming up in consciousness, the master teachers told me that we shouldn't join any organizations. Thus, I'm not organized. I didn't want to say that. I didn't want to say, nah, my job is to teach the people AI and shit. I'm an AI course developer and I do Imaginarium and fantasy complex industry. And I'm only doing Melanin Mondays and Third Eye Thursdays and Techno Tuesdays and Sacrilegious Sundays and Saturday Night Live. And I don't do, in-person type of things in disaster areas. Nah, I didn't want to say that because that wouldn't be accurate. So what happened after I got off that show is that I began to sit down with myself and come up with some of the solutions in my own mind to say why I'm not, quote unquote, why I'm watching the thing happen in Gary, Indiana, and I don't have anybody that I know that I can call on. And the people that I thought would show up and be there for people in need have shown me that they won't be in need. So if they're not there for them, what makes me think that they'll be there for me? So I was like, you know what? I need to be the change that I want to see. You feel me? I need to be the change that I'm going to be that I'm talking about is not happening. One of the things that I could do with the power that I have, with the network that I have, with the influence that I have, with the passion for this that I have, is that I literally could put this on my shoulders and I could get it started. So what I did is I initially, this is even before the show on Rich, I initially said on this channel that I wanted people to start sending in their information because I wanted to put together a master list, and I wanted this master list to be in the dossier so we could basically start getting together and having these powwows, these conversations, these Zooms, and these quote unquote face-to-face meetings and whatnot, and these gatherings, so we could start preparing and prepping ourselves, not for disaster. I am not a doomsday prepper, and I am not preparing for disaster. I'm building for tomorrow. That's all I'm doing. I am building for tomorrow. How can we come together for common unity to build while things are being destroyed? How do we come together to build while things are being destroyed? I'm not doing nothing in fear. I'm not ever doing nothing in fear. This is not reactionary. This is proactive. This is not I'm not doing this out of fear. I saw what happened in Gary, Indiana, and I took notes. That's not fear. I saw what happened in Gary, Indiana, and I took due notice. That's not fear. That's awareness. That is awareness. That is exactly what consciousness is about. If you had awareness as to who was going to win the game, how would your life change? If you had awareness as to who was going to win that fight with Clarissa, how would your life change? Would it not change for the better? If you knew who the hell was going to win these games, would it not change for the better? That's what awareness is. Some people have total awareness and some people have some of the awareness. I'm here to bring you total awareness. We are building prediction models. We are building prediction markets. We bringing on astrologers, people who are soothsayers, fortune tellers, right? And we're building tools in order for people to gauge that shit. Forget all of that speculation. It's time to show and prove. I'm building out models so if people say, "Yo, I could predict the future," then you gotta prove that shit. Because there's people out here getting paid for that. So if you are not getting paid for it, at least you got to prove it. What you talking about? Them days are going to be long gone. But check this out. So I had to really sit down and ask myself, are you even built for this? Is this something that you want? And I had to come to the conclusion 1000% that this is what I want. This is part of my passion. This is something that I've started years ago. And this is something that I'm going to pick up and we're moving with this thing. So this train is officially at the station right now, ladies and gentlemen. This is phase 1 of Common Unity Initiative. This is sponsored by F.A.C.T.S. By a show of hands in the chat, by a show of hands in the comment section for the people who see this afterwards. How many people were helped? How many people found assistance and information and knowledge from the F.A.C.T.S initiative that we launched in 2015? This is an initiative that has been going strong for more than a decade. Okay. And I did not never take no funds from the government. I'm not this is not a non-for-profit. And I'm not saying that for bragging rights, because it more than likely will become a non-for-profit and it may have a wing of it that becomes such. You feel me? So we could get these grants and all of these things. But the F.A.C.T.S initially is food, art, clothing, technology, and shelter. Food, art, clothing, technology, and shelter. This form of F.A.C.T.S, family, action, community, transformation, and success. So what is food, art, clothing, technology, and shelter? When we came out in 2015, food. There were restaurants that were serving good food. There were restaurants that were serving vegan food. You had staples in our community that were functioning for more than a few decades. However, the explosion of food trucks, the explosion of food delivery apps, the explosion of people growing their food, the explosion of people making food their living and whatnot, the explosion of people learning about food, changing their diets and everything, horticulture, all of the things food related, that began to explode. Art. People understood what art was, but they couldn't make a movie back in those days. People were like, yo, they wanted to make films. They wanted to make art shows. The explosion of black artists prior to F.A.C.T.S, when we started talking about the food and the art, bringing art through the lens of consciousness, right? Showing artists through the lens of consciousness, showing them through the lens of apparel, showing them through fashion, showing them through all of these things. The flyers from back in the days and Blog Talk coming all the way up to now. The arts, the music, the video games. Now people are making video games. Back in the days, we were just talking about when we're going to be able to make the video games. But we were talking about making comics, video games, cartoons, toys, merch, music, albums, cassettes, vinyls. That was a part of the F.A.C.T.S initiative. I was making an open call to all of the artists to activate, to turn on, get in your bag, start envisioning you making comic books, write out the ideas, and then even showing you how it was coming about. The more we was talking about it, things were going viral. There was like people fan art they were making. Remember the comic that looked like Secret Wars, and it was the conscious community on a comic book cover, and it had like Umar, Pharaoh, all type of people polite as the villains and shit like that. And then they had other people as the heroes on the cover and it went viral. Yeah, food, the art, the clothing. In 2015, there wasn't 1,000 clothing lines with consciousness. Consciousness as a clothing line. That was something that brother Jeff was exploring, I believe. Um, Kings County, of course. Pharaonic was bodying that shit. Ra Omar. There was a few lines and whatnot, but the explosion of that, the explosion of the way that people are just making clothes in Black America, just Black people in general. I remember like the streetwear movement. All of these young kids with the clothing lines blowing up, making millions upon millions upon millions of dollars. Nah, technology. When F.A.C.T.S first came out and we were talking about technology, niggas had Texas Instruments and flip phones. Yeah, we had tablets, we had desktops and all of that stuff. But the technology, the level of where technology is at right now, it's like it 10x, it 100x in some ways. Shelter, right? Shelter. Tell us about Dapper Dan. Isn't he from New York? Yeah, I got videos with Dapper Dan. That's the OG, you know. Dapper Dan utilized Senegalese seamstresses, right? Mostly men from Senegal because of they're known for being master seamstress, right? He was actually at the Mart 125th. You see that email scrolling at the bottom? That I want everybody to send an email to if you want to be a part of this initiative. This is the Common Unity Initiative. If you're a 501c3, if you're a nonprofit, if you are a quote unquote small business, if you are a LLC, if you're an organization, if you're an organizer, I want you to tap in with me. If you're about solutions, if this is something that you want to be a part of, if you even want to know what this is fully about, just hit me up and I'll send you information. I have my representatives reach out to you. We could do one-on-ones. I'm doing Zoom calls and whatnot. We're doing a Discord group. We're getting real serious about this, right? We're not going to get caught lacking, and we're not about to shrink in the face of any type of adversity and whatnot. We're going to utilize our time, our energy, our connections, our network. If I'm gonna be on this internet talking to y'all, I gotta be up here doing stuff. I gotta think big and I gotta do bigger shit. So if I'm gonna be up here, because this takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of commitment. The consistency is literally unmatched. You feel me? The persistency and the consistency is consistent. It's doing what it's supposed to do. But we're in a new timeline right now. We're in a new epoch right now. We're in a new era. We're in an era where we need to make solutions happen, tangible things, real things. We are grown. We are grown. These elders need us. You heard the elder on Father Rich's show. She said that she needs protection. She literally is sitting on thousands of gallons of water. She has water. She has fresh water. She is an elder. And she's like, Mama, my mother called me. Like Mama Pill called me up. Like, yo, I'm locked in. Like, what I gotta do? I'm ready to go. The elders deserve to be on land where they not paying bills, y'all. Like, what's up? The elders deserve to be on a land where they don't have to be afraid of somebody breaking in or violating or stealing or doing anything that keeps them up at night. Yeah, Mama Callie. The elders don't need to be paying no bills. Like, what the hell? Why is that so hard? I don't understand. What's difficult about that? While we wait for these checks to come to us, while we wait for justice to come to us, while we wait for certain things to arrive and whatnot, why not just take our time while things are good? People are waiting for the bad. People are waiting for the inevitable. People are waiting for dystopia while they still have utopia. You still good. Your dollar still spin. Your car still start. What are you talking about? Your card still swipe. Everything is good, my nigga. The only reason that it's hard is because we making it hard. We not forming Voltron. That's the only reason why it's running away from us. There's a formula that should be utilized, and it's not being utilized. It's not even being considered, bro. That's where the problem is. So here's what I wrote. Here's what I wrote on my IG post. I said, so I did something the other day. After witnessing the tragedy that was taking place in Gary, Indiana, I went on my YouTube show. I reported on it, and then I challenged my audience to be more proactive, and then proceeded to share my email with the audience with the hopes of maybe attracting a few survivalists and disaster preparedness volunteers to respond. Little did I know the response was going to be a flood of emails and contacts of folks who want to get ready so they don't got to get ready. I've always known our greatest asset is our network, but to read the emails and see how qualified, talented, and experienced people really are humbled me. Then last night on Radiohead Rich YouTube channel alongside Professor Griff, I made a similar call for action and they responded with an overwhelming amount of emails. I couldn't sleep because my mind was in overthinking mode, and ancestors visited me in my dreams and instructed me to push this line even stronger because they said the only thing you are lacking is organization and structure. I've been wary of organizations and groups since the early days of the conscious community, primarily because the master teacher said to avoid groups and organizations and focus on self. In other words, man, know thyself. Fast forward 20 plus years later, the part of myself that I know fully is my eagerness to be of service to my people skills and the passion that I have to see the elders, the children's, and these families safe and prosperous. So here we are with a call for action, a pledge to use my knowledge in AI and technology to build more tools to bring the tribe together and to solve some issues. A commitment to develop a system so we don't have to be asked out waiting on the government to govern us, and to never rely on Hollywood niggas and bougie boule blacks to save our lives in case of emergency. I'm calling on all my tribe, friends, families, and followers to walk with me through this journey and assist me on my path. Don't judge me if I happen to stumble along the way. Pick me up, dust me off, and let me continue on my journey. This is on my heart, so I'm sharing it in all sincerity. Peace, love, and light. So that's what I wrote on my IG, and I got some good responses from people that was like, let's go. And they was tapped in and they were giving me inspiration. You know what I mean? Because I literally shared what was on my heart. So I'm committed, but I'm only as committed as the people that I'm going to be committed to, because this is going to take a lot out of me, but this is right in alignment with where my heart is taking me. I need something that's gonna feed me, and building this up and making something happen. This is where I'm at right now with it. So I put a presentation together and let's go. Walk with me. I'm gonna walk us through this. So this is the facts. This is a part of the Facts Initiative, y'all. So about us, the Common Unity Initiative is a collective of like-minded individuals and families coming together to build intentional, self-reliant communities. We believe in preparation, not fear, creating sustainable systems, strong relationship, and shared knowledge to thrive in any future. To build our mission, this is our mission, to build resilient, self-sustaining communities that empower individuals and families to live with purpose, preparedness, and unity, no matter what comes our way. Build self-reliant communities, share resources and knowledge, strengthen families, prepare for any event, leave a legacy for generations. What we do: build and develop off grid infrastructure and sustainable living spaces, grow and produce food forests, gardens, livestock, and preservation systems, store and preserve water collection, filtration, and long term storage solutions, secure and protect community safety, emergency planning, and defense strategies, educate and empower, skill building, training, and passing down essential knowledge. Who we are for, right? So we get this straight. Anyone who is ready to take responsibility for their future and the future of their family. Whether you're just starting your journey or already living off grid, you belong here. We want families, we want homesteaders, we want preppers, we want entrepreneurs, we want retirees, and we want young visionaries. Okay? Core values: unity, we rise together; sustainability, we respect the land and its resources; empowerment, we take action and build skills, right? Integrity, we lead with honesty and trust; legacy, we build a better tomorrow. Okay? So what we are envisioning of the many things that we have our visions and our mindset to is that we could create what is known as a barn dominium. Okay? Barn dominium. So let's break down what a barn dominium. This right here, these are the acre boys, and more than likely, right? Because quiet is kept, they even have a program called F.A.C.T.S. And these are some good brothers that I met a few years ago on tour, right? And the brothers are they've been doing great things, securing land, helping people buy acres, even helping families that are sitting on multiple acres. They've been helping people monetize, and helping our people, our community, right? How to find land very affordable and even flip it.
Everybody wants a family compound, and they condominiums can be built. Condominiums can be
Let's go.
Condominiums can be built for as little as 150,000, and here's why they taking off. Let's talk about it. Everybody wants a family compound, and they think it has to cost millions. And this is where condominiums step in. You find inexpensive land, and instead of building multiple expensive houses, you build one large structure or multiple condominiums on one property. Now your whole family is on that land, but everyone still has their own section and their own privacy. You can design it exactly how you want your family to live. Separate wings, shared kitchen space, rental units, and even office space. So now your land isn't just where you live, it's where you grow wealth. So stop thinking one house at a time and start thinking family compound. And with that said, go out and get our family compound blueprint mini course, a step-by-step guide to get you started with your family compound. Comment the word compound and it's yours. See, I know the motto: invest in dirt, it's a clean way to make money.
So I'm going to be doing more episodes of Common Unity Initiative. And in these episodes, I'll be bringing special guests on board, and everybody will be speaking to what it is that we're doing here in this quote unquote movement and whatnot. All right. So look out for that. So these are the barnariums, as you can see. This is what they look like. All right. And these are doable right now. We don't have to try to think of survival and think in lack and think that we don't deserve this, because we definitely do. Let me play this video real quick. Let me show you how people are getting together and what they're doing with their resources, right? Some of the preppers. We'll come back and cover all of this. I just want you to check this out.
Hey guys, my name's Lane and I want to welcome you to our underground bunker somewhere in Indiana. And it goes for miles. See all that? Just stacks of it. I would say 50 people, 10 years, 40 people, 12, all kind of stuff. Pancakes over there. I got mounds of pancakes. Hundreds of pancakes. Mounds of pancakes. Noodles. We check the stock on it from time to time. Throw out what's bad. A lot of coffee. All our meats are down there. Apple sauces. That's rice. You got your white balsamic vinegar for salad. We got all of our powder, bread flour. We got our Larry salt seasoning. What you see here is rice and beans. You got pinto beans. You got rice and white beans. We got beans for days. And this is all Augusta Foods. Augusta Farms. Look into Augusta. It's a good prepper food. It lasts 30, 40 years. It's good, and it's good for you. It's not full of sodium. Come down this way.
Yeah, this is hundreds of thousands of dollars right there. Stuff. So this is hundreds of thousands of
I
dollars.
think you've got like 400,000. Because all your money's in this fucking meat over here. So now we got our syrups.
So
Stop hoarding bottled water. That wall of cases in your basement isn't a water plan. Those 2-year dates, that's the bottle failing, not the water. Warm plastic goes permeable and absorbs every odor around it. Worse, 30 cases can disappear in days for a family of 4. Massive space, tiny payoff. Do this instead. 3 layers. First, store water in stackable food-grade HDPE containers. More water, far less wasted space. Second, capture it. Keep a bathtub bladder nearby. At the first storm, boil notice, or outage, fill it immediately. Third, treat it with a gravity filter. Rain, pool, or creek water becomes usable. Stored water runs out. A filter keeps working. Save this before the taps go dry. Follow for more survival tips.
you heard what he said. Stored water runs out. A filter keeps going. Right? Something as simple as that. Completely just changed my whole entire way of seeing water storage and water filtration. If it rains somewhere, you should be able to survive because you'll be able to turn rainwater into drinkable water. You'll be able to turn all type of water into drinkable water with a portable filter. With the right type of filter, you could turn seawater, right, into drinkable water.
Comment the word SMART and I'll DM you the video on how you can create an on-demand water supply for your family.
5 things that will be harder to get after shit hits the fan than food. Reliable information. After an emergency, bad information travels faster than good information. Rumors can send people into blocked roads, crowded streets, or into danger that doesn't even exist. Have more than one way to get reliable information. An emergency radio, weather alerts, local emergency alerts, ham radio, police scanner. You don't need to be the first person to know, but you need to be able to confirm what you hear so you can make smart decisions. Prescription medications. The food in your pantry, you can probably stretch that if you had to. Most people can't stretch prescription medications. A missed refill can be a lot more dangerous than getting low on groceries. Have a backup supply, if possible, of all the medications you and your family members take, and, ideally, a backup supply of antibiotics. But Derek, I can't just get a prescription for antibiotics. Actually, you can. There are a number of online companies that do this. You go online, you fill out a health questionnaire, a doctor reviews it, approves your prescription. They market these to preppers and people who travel a lot. And the company that I found has the best low-cost basic kit, Ozio Medical. The other thing I like about them, if you want more of one particular medication, you can add that onto your card at checkout. If you want to check them out and save an additional 10%, write RX down in the comments and I'll direct message you a link to the company with the coupon code CASH. When the grid goes down, ATMs aren't working, credit cards aren't working, your cell phone isn't working, cash is king. But Derek, in a real collapse, cash will be useless. I'm going to invest in brass and lead. Yeah, okay, if it's a Mad Max scenario and you need to just get fuel out of the wasteland, cash is useless. It's just paper. Real crises, when the grid goes down and end is in sight, cash is king. Clean water. After a collapse, even if water is available, clean water may not be. What's worse, people will drink contaminated water, then get sick, and try to seek medical help that may not be available. Store water before you need it and have the means to both filter and purify it. 2 different things. If the tap water's running and you're unsure about it, hit it for a rolling boil, 1 minute. Fuel. It's what keeps cars moving, generators running, chainsaws cutting, and in some cases, homes heated. When shit hits the fan, gas stations will go empty before you know it. The lines will be so long, sitting in them will be pointless. You don't need to hoard gasoline. That can be dangerous, but you should certainly have some on hand to get you through. I've done videos on gas storage before. In a nutshell, metal containers.
You know those dirt bikes, right? You know those dirt bikes? Or shit, all the way from the scooters that they have, those electric scooters, all the way up to like a motorcycle cycle, like a Kawasaki. But dirt bikes, motorcycles, scooters, sit-down scooters, stand-up scooters, those 2 gasoline canisters in your garage or something, or your basement, that will help you move around places a lot faster than a sedan, a car, even though, you know, maybe if you got to move around, but if you have to move, of course, you want a damn U-Haul, right? You don't want to leave stuff behind that you need. But if you got to move around and maneuver, you should learn how to drive those bikes. Feel me? You should learn, you should learn, have one of those somewhere just sitting.
Gas stabilizer, ethanol-free fuel. Follow for more prepper tips.
So let's go back a little bit. All right, let me walk us through this. Okay. So the barnarium is goals, right? This is what I'm gonna do because I don't want the email to get in the way of the presentation. I'm gonna put it in a QR code, right? I'm gonna put the email in a simple QR code, right? Because right now, all we're doing is collecting information. We're not raising any funds. We're not doing anything of the nature. We're just collecting information. This is phase 1. Okay, this is phase 1. So right now we just want information. We want the family to tap in. Okay, we want the family to tap in and just bring just give the data, the email and the phone number so we could get in touch with you and send you information. When we do send information, we're gonna send Shit. Pardon me. I didn't even know. Okay, yeah, we're back. Yeah, just hit the email. Let me take the email off for a minute, but this will be I'll put it back up in a few minutes. Let me continue with this presentation. All right. Okay, so when you speak on a grid community, right? When you speak on an off-grid community, we're going to give the top 10 requirements, okay? So living in an off-grid community in 2026 is, I would say, 10 to 50 times more doable and more sustainable than it was 50 years ago, right? Not to say that it wasn't, but now it has gotten a lot more user friendly, or it stepped up. Things have evolved. The technology has evolved. The process has evolved, right? The research, and there are services, there are products, and there's thousands of communities out there right now, and maybe hundreds of thousands of like Facebook groups and specialized things in that niche, okay, that feed, sustain, and nurture this community. So the top 10 requirements that are needed right now in order to have a sustainable off-grid community is a reliable water supply, right? Clean water is life. Multiple sources, wells, rainwater, filtration, and storage. In my humble opinion, to build a community around a well or springs, right? Thermal springs, uh, natural water springs, wells and things of that nature, that is definitely a requirement. That should be a no-brainer. Food security, grow your own, raise your own. Gardens, greenhouses, orchards, livestock, and food preservation. Sustainable energy, diverse power keeps the community running. Diverse power keeps the community running. Solar, wind, batteries, generators. So definitely it would be a lot of generators in these communities. Okay. So before we say we should spread around thousands of generators amongst the network, which is we will all have, our goal is to all have a personal generator in our place that we domicile. Let's say that we don't live inside of a common unity. We don't live inside of a off grid. We may just be a part of this initiative and we still live in a city and whatnot, or we still live in a house. Well, yes, the goal, the requirements is to have at least a generator, right? Because as we can see, we are note takers and we are going to learn from everything that's being done. Gary, Indiana, Choco, Columbia, all of these places are they're just showing you tests. There's literally dress rehearsals. It's literally dress rehearsals to prepare for something that may happen, right? So if you learn from it and you develop the quote unquote the opposite effect, you develop the solutions, then not only will you fare better, but you will become reliable to other people. You now will have a use case in other people's lives, in other situations, because shit is definitely going to happen. If I could put a prediction on things, is shit happens. Right? So we in a shit happens business now. We're in a shit happens business right now. Okay? And maybe being in the shit happens business will help some of us stumble upon some of the solutions that we were looking for. They may be hiding inside of shit, like everything else. You know? I don't want to be the conscious community. I want to be the solutions community. I want to be the solutions community. So community security, whoa, safe shelter, sustainable energy. So that's all solar. That's just solar the hell up. Things are just solared up. It's solar on all of the roofs. There's solar farms on the land. We could get it for the low. We got contacts with people like Nature Jab and whatnot. There's a whole I got a segment in this presentation where somebody built an entire truck out of solar panels, and the truck is just on a highway collecting energy all day. So for my truckers and whatnot that are out there, um, that are trucking and whatnot, that are getting to the bread by being truckers and whatnot. So you'll have truckers moving from community to community to community. Those truckers are gathering power in their solar panels. So when they're dropping off the product, they're also dropping energy off. You dig what I'm saying? They're also going to be dropping off energy. So, um, we have sustainable energy, solar, wind, batteries, and generators. But of course, and then of course we got scientists and engineers in this community who could create energy utilizing the Taurus magnets. You feel me? Free energy. Okay. Shout out to Lester Lovin and whatnot. Safe and secure shelter, durable, insulated, and built to withstand any crisis. Earth bag, container, tiny homes, or natural building. Right? So the buildings are going to be built to be sustainable. They're going to be built to be earthquake proof. We're going to use hempcrete. We're going to use monolithic dome structures and whatnot. We will make sure that these buildings are sustainable. We're not going to be living in high rise towers and whatnot. In case something happens, you get pancaked and whatnot. A lot of these buildings will be of low heights and whatnot. We will have towers, but it don't gotta be I don't want to be on the 30th floor. I'm good on that right now. Um so safe and secure shelter. Can you be a foreman? Of course. And somebody said, do you accept single peoples? Of course. Does a bird fly? We just don't want we don't want no gigolos. Let me stop. Yes, single people are allowed. This is not something that we're keeping nobody outside of. This is, you know what I mean? We're going to do vetting, of course. There's certain, there's going to have to be an assessment test that's going to be taken. And there's going to have to be a selection, right? Community security, awareness, planning, and protection, perimeter security, communication, and trained community members. So we're going to have awareness, planning, and protection. We are not going to have flock cameras. We're not going to be spying on people. Okay. We're not going to be doing things of that nature. We're not going to be spying in people's houses and shit like that. You're not going to have the ring camera on inside your house, but we will have security, and the security will look like us, talk like us. The security will be disciplined though, and the security will be effective. All right, and it won't have to be a over. We won't have to see a bunch of people, but we will know that we're protected. Health and wellness, physical, mental, and holistic health, first aid, herbal medicine, clean living, and fitness. Man, even if people have mental health issues, they're going to be able to get some assistance. They are going to have solutions. People who need that, they're going to get whatever they need in the terms of health and wellness. I right now am on the cusp of solidifying a distribution deal where I'm going to be the distributor for multiple brands. And all of these brands are dealing with health and wellness. Okay, so we are currently which is literally $1 trillion industry right now, right? Trillions and trillions. So, skills and education, of course. One of my caveats is education. I am a teacher, I am a scholar. I hope nobody judges me as I climb up the ladder in life and become something bigger than a teacher and a scholar and be like, that nigga was just a teacher and a scholar. What do you think he doing helping people out or building communities or look, what can a teacher teach us? Well, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. I just hope that I don't get judged because I'm just a measly teacher and a scholar. I know people look down on that. That's something that's not even a flex. You know what I mean? That's nothing that you could lead with in conversation. Hey, how you doing, guys? I'm a scholar and you know what I mean? Like that's not the icebreaker on a first date. But you know, we manage. Number 8, communication systems. Staying connected even off grid. Radios, mesh networks, satellites, and emergency plans, ladies and gentlemen. Radios, mesh networks, satellites, and emergency plans, ladies and gentlemen. To be honest with you, that'll be very important. But we have people who are overly qualified in our network, ex-military, people who know what IT, security, right? People who know what the hell is going on and they know how to protect people. They know how to set up communication systems and they know how to, get out of the way and be unhackable. Resource management, reduce waste, reuse, recycle, regenerate, composting, gray water, and sustainable practices. Now, if you know anything about the network, if you know anything about what Blue Pill is doing with his green thumb and the farmy, if you know anything about what Mama Pill does, if you know anything about what KT does, if you know anything about the farmers and the green thumbs that we just have in our family, let alone our network, then you know that we're going to know what to do with some compost and we're going to know what to do with some waste and some fertilizer and we're going to know how to get these gardens popping and get these greens and get this food and these crops growing. Community governance, clear values, roles, and systems. It will not be something that you can't read. It won't be legalese. It won't be technology. It won't be something that's confusion. It will literally be something that we all can understand. Clear values, roles, and systems, fair governance and conflict resolution, and shared decision making. Okay? I don't want nobody to be, to live in no type of conjecture or speculation. I wonder if this is like this, or I wonder if this is allowed, or I wonder if no, everything will be clear, everything will be fair, and everything will be shared, right? This is not a dictatorship, okay? This is going to be something that because we study, we understand what broke a lot of other things up before and why other communities have not been able to get off the ground. So we're going to utilize just that knowledge right there to move us forward, right? So we want to plan together, prepare as one. We want to build together. We're stronger together. If that's something that people are not in agreement with, no problem. Everything is not for everyone. This clarion call, this call for action, I have 70,000 people on this combined network between KTL, Know the Ledge, and Know the Ledger 444. So this may be for 700 people out of 70,000, right? This may only be for 700 people. Shit, this might only be for 70. How about that? How about that? That it may only be for 70. And that'll, yo, and if, and to be honest with you, this is not even considered a worst case scenario because I won't even say the word worst case scenario. I would say the best case scenario is 7 of us. 7, I could make things happen with 7 of us. That's just how confident I'm in us. 7. If I were to pick a 7, this yo Rob, let's make the video game. We start from 7, then we go to 70, then we go to 700, then we go to 7,000, right? I don't have a problem with making this a game. I don't have a problem with coding this out and gamifying it, because sometimes, you got to show people through the means of gamification in order for them to literally walk that dog. Yo, Rob, what's up? How that sound? We could make this we could make this a game. We could run this through Fable 5 and Mythos, just to show people what it's gonna look like when you do it. There's nothing wrong with that. There's no crime against that, ladies and gentlemen. We literally have to try everything out that works for us at this point in time. We literally have to throw everything at the wall at this time and whatnot, because we can't say that nothing works if we never try it. But I'm here to let you know it's all about the vantage point. My vantage point is that I belong to a whole entire quote unquote agency of designers, app developers. We building video games inside the Imaginarium. Like I know what my network is out here doing. And we got coders, we got developers, we got builders. They will ship. They will take the transcript from this show and start making tools and apps and shit like that, websites and all of that. So I know the power that I got in my network. My network is my net worth. You see, ye are rich. I'm not living in lack. I'm not be lacking, my niggas. You know what I'm talking about? I'm living in wealth. I understand what I've been doing in this network over the decades and over the years and over the last few months. So I'm like, yo, this, if y'all want it, if you really want it like that, this shit could be Farmville on your phone, but it also could be real life. So 8 things that every off-grid home needs, right? A greenhouse, year-round growing, and a main cabin, right? All of these could be built in a span of a month. Self-sufficiency, home and heat, right? And we got all of the ways to heat the house without even having the gas company heat it up. You need the chicken coop. You know what I'm talking about? Don't get on some don't be like Smokey in a chicken coop though. Food security and fresh eggs, I don't know about fresh eggs. To each its own. Food security, rainwater collector. Well, we got the chicken coop. We're not gonna be super vegans, right? So here goes the guy who built the solar yacht, right, for $20K, so he could travel without using a drop of fuel. All right. So for those of us that want to move around on the sea and whatnot, for those of us that want to move around on the in the rivers and the seas and the oceans and whatnot, I think that this would be something great. We could bring this to the Caribbean. We could bring this to the Caribbean. We could bring this everywhere where there's waterways, and we could trade utilizing these solar ships. Okay. So if he spent 200 days building it, we could build it in 20. Because that's the type of quantum quickening that we live in. If it takes somebody 200 days to build some shit, the next time is 20, the next time is 2 days. And it's a simple design, as you can see, right? So that right there is doable. So now, to add insult to injury, right? To add insult to injury, right after the situation happens in Gary, Indiana, black ass Memphis, Tennessee is also 100,000 people are out without power. 100,000 people are without power. But that's not going to be the first time, and that's not going to be the last time. I'm sorry. Okay, y'all in there rallying. Yeah, we putting the chickens on the land. Don't worry, I'll take it back. Chickens, yeah. Y'all go hand in hand. Hey, Rue, You go hand in hand with them black folks. So your ass is on the land. But Memphis is without power. And the data centers are pulling the power. And the data centers are only going to pull more power. So a blackout is inevitable. It's the most easiest thing to hedge against at this point. I need to see what the odds are on Polymarket. You know what I mean? Like a blackout is inevitable. Raising livestock. Here you go. Raise chickens, goats, rabbits, and bees to create a sustainable source of meat, milk, eggs, and honey. Grow your own food. Grow vegetables, fruits, and herbs to keep fresh, homegrown food available throughout the year. Preserve your harvest. Use canning and dehydrating to extend the life of your harvest and keep the food stored year round. Secure your water supply. Collect rainwater and maintain a backup well to keep clean water available for drinking, irrigation, and hygiene. Heat and cook off grid. Use wood stoves and rocket stoves to stay warm and cook without relying on modern utilities. Learn first aid. Learn medical and herbal remedies to handle common injuries, illnesses, and emergencies yourself. Have the right tools. Keep axes, saws, and essential hand tools for construction, repairs, gathering firewood, and everyday tasks. Generate power. Use solar panels and backup energy to maintain reliable electricity when the grid isn't available. Now, the price of solar panels and the price of generators are going to skyrocket very soon. You may want, if you're into the stock markets, if you're into the markets and whatnot, you want to get into those industries right there and either bet against, buy the stocks and whatnot, or you may want to hedge against other industries if you know what you're doing. But definitely go out and get those tools while they're affordable, and definitely go out and get those generators while they're affordable. And you can snatch up these the whatever solar panels that you can find, because Donald Trump and them collapsed that industry a few years ago. Right? The urine therapy and some other things, we'll get to that in phase 2, right? So what we're doing in Atlanta, what we've been doing, instead of just sitting around talking about things, is that we've been tapping in with the farmers. We've been tapping into the local farmers. Blue Pill is tapping in with the indoor farming, the outdoor farming, farmers markets and whatnot, bringing the elders on board. So on what day was that? Friday. I went to the garden of a woman by the name of Queen Miss Helene, right? Her name is the Garden Queen, and her real name is Miss Helene. She's 81 years old. She's a Jamaican maroon, right? She's a maroon out of Jamaica, and every Friday, the first of the month, she has harvesting in her garden, right? So me, Mama Pill, and Blue Pill, and Blue Dreams, we all pulled up to her and we was tapping in with her. But there are so many women like this, and gardeners and growers. This is who we need in our network that we're going to be building with. She made this poppin' sorrel. Oh my goodness, it tastes so good.
My diamond shirt.
You know? Oh yeah, she dripping.
All right.
So all of this food right here is being grown in her garden.
I got it.
Right?
Wait.
I know how
You know how to do it? Okay. I like this green. The color of the leaves.
And I don't know, I don't want to start trying to eat it.
She had callaloo seeds.
This is beautiful.
Yeah.
The colors.
Yeah.
The color of that leaf.
That color.
Yeah.
That
purple that's coming out.
Yeah, and it started out red.
Get out of here.
Yes. And you see I have cocoa.
Sister Andrea, she came all the way from South Carolina.
From Guyana? She have Edos, guys.
That you make the pepper pot soup with.
Yes.
So that's why we're collecting the
You know who brought Edos to me? Conrad. Remember Conrad Wilson? He's from Guyana. He used to bring Edos.
I am going to have it on Monday. I'll have the soup that you guys can taste.
Okay.
Here, the big leaf there. It's called elephant ear in America, but this is the edible elephant ear.
Oh.
Yeah, this is not. Yeah, that is. I put the food in the ground and it just pops up, and from the tip of the leaf to the root.
To the root.
Are edible.
All edible.
All
Wow.
edible.
Beautiful. What does it taste like?
We make the soup out. It tastes like callaloo.
Oh, color. Okay.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Look here.
All right, so mommy, when it comes to the weed,
Big pot of drink it, but I don't know what it's called here.
Watergrass.
Watergrass. See if there's a name for it.
I'll do it right now.
Yes.
So I'm gonna show. She wanted me to identify it, right? So I went and took a picture of it and I uploaded it to ChatGPT, and this is what it gave me. Right? So when you see a when you visit, I think I got a short in my wire. Pardon me, ladies and gentlemen. This is not the Illuminati doing this. I believe I have a short in the wire of my microphone, and every time that I touch it, it mutes the microphone. So I'm going to have to get a new mic. But if you're ever foraging or you're in the garden and you want to know what type of plant that's in front of you, all you have to do is take a picture and upload it into either Google, Gemini, ChatGPT, or Claude, and it will give you the feedback. You see how that works? It will give you the feedback and whatnot. It will tell you what it is. So this is a Bengal dayflower, and I was able to tell her that it was a dayflower. It's antioxidant activity, it's anti-inflammatory, it's antimicrobial, it has digestive support, it has possible blood sugar effects, and it has nutritional value. All right. There's vitamin C in it. There's calcium, iron, potassium, and the B cardium. So just taking one picture will tell you all of that, and then boop, you already know what to do with that. You already know how that's going to affect either your elixir. You could eat it right there. So if we're going to be off the grid, we need that's where we use technology to give us some type of information and data so we know what's around us, right? It'll help you. I think they have an app specifically that does that. If they don't, we need one. Okay? It'll tell you about all of these plants that are in your neighborhoods. When I do roll call, everybody is from somewhere that has some real good food, some original herbs, some powerful crystals. Every shout out when we do roll call, y'all all live in places that are literally on the grid, and they all have magical shit. If this was a video game, y'all all are on the path on the Legend of Zelda. Right? There's a few plant apps. I'll check them out. Right? I'm going to check them out. I'm going to tell y'all the next date when we go into her land too. So I'll let you know. And I'm going to bring her on the show. I'm bringing Miss Helene on the show.
The papaya tree right there.
So what do I have to put it indoors for it to protect it?
A garden, a greenhouse.
Greenhouse.
Yes, inside a
So
greenhouse. But listen.
she was we got to find a heat control greenhouse for a lot of these plants.
Because when you go to the botanical garden,
like this stuff in here, this is
because they have that conservatory greenhouse,
Yeah.
it's
with
a
the
jungle
mist.
in there
Yeah, the mist.
all
In the
year
winter,
round because
right.
they have it climate controlled.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, man. We got to do this for the elders, for the nanas. So these are some of the products that we have in our distribution line that we're building. We're going to have a distribution line. So for all of my storefronts that are out there, all of my resellers that are out there, you feel me? All of my quote unquote distributors that are out there, tap in with me. You feel me? Tap in with me and let's get you on this list. And let's get these products inside of these stores and let's start shopping with one another. I do have to remind y'all that we do have V-Cell CMOS back on deck. We have V-Cell CMOS back on deck, and y'all might have forgotten that V-Cell CMOS is the best tasting CMOS on the planet. So I definitely have to remind y'all. And I'm also showing you these products because when we go off grid, we have products that are industry standard. We don't have to starve. Our products are going to be sold globally. Our products are our industry. We belong to the conscious industry. We can have our own F.A.C.T.S if we wanted to. You feel what I'm saying? We have a powerful network. It spans around the globe and whatnot. So we won't never be without, because all we're going to do is tap into the industry that's sustaining and life-giving, right? Health is wealth.
Okay. Check it out. I'm with my man Redfield. Man, I'm about to try out his CMOS gel. All the way from Cleveland, Ohio. I'm up here in the A.
Shout out to Cleveland.
Texture is nice. Texture is real nice. Ice cream. It tastes like an icy, man, like an Italian icy, man.
Yeah, different.
I'm fucking with that. Hey, and I make and sell CMOS at my Health and Wellness Cafe in Cleveland.
Tell them the name of your spot.
The Oasis 44 Health and Wellness Cafe. The first and the only 420 friendly Health and Wellness Cafe in Ohio. Located in Cleveland.
That's where you're going to find these CMOSs.
Right here.
He's going to be in Cleveland. Believe that.
Know that.
You know, we in the sour sop days, right? Yeah. So this is made for babies. This is made for the children going back to school. This is made for the elders. This is made for people who are tired of eating that processed food. This is made for waking up in the morning, workout, post and pre. This is lunch at the job and whatnot. That's why we made it in this gel form. Sour sop CMOS gel, V-Cell.
It's frozen? It's like an icy.
Yeah, it's like an icy.
Oh, wow.
You said, oh, wow?
Wow.
And the aftertaste, it touches your palate, so I want you to give me how it tastes. It's an initial taste, then it settles in.
So it's just like applesauce.
It's right.
And then it's like, maybe think like a gummy, but it's like, damn, that's good. It's like a gummy applesauce mixed, like, you know, like the texture of like a gummy.
Right. That's why I was saying you could put it on bread as a sandwich. You can eat it like an applesauce with a meal, or you could just eat it, take it right to the face.
Y'all can order it right there with the QR code. That would take you to the V-Cell CMOS website. And when you go there, you'll see they got new items, gummies, sour sop gummies. They got some powerful products up there, ladies and gentlemen. So go over to V-Cell CMOS, check it out. Especially with the children going back to school right now, you want to get them this. They could eat this all day. They could eat it for lunch. They could have it for breakfast. They could just have it in there. If they could bring jars to school, they could just bring it to school. They actually could sell it in school. There is a affiliate program, so you could get money with us.
And for children, the babies, instead of the Gerber and whatnot,
you can feed them.
So there's 8 flavors for the babies.
And they're going to get all their nutrients, and it's going to
taste good. And remember the elders, right?
Yeah.
Who need to eat a little bit healthier, can't eat, they can't digest sugar and other things.
This is
perfect. This is it right here.
How much is this a jar?
40 for
I'm going to do more of these videos too, where people are tasting it on the spot. You know what I mean? So we could see these are not paid actors, ladies and gentlemen. These are not paid actors. Okay.
The jar.
And what flavor you got?
I got right now. I got the
Oh, the blue
elderberry, and I have
the blue
a
is
base
banging.
one, so you can make any flavor with.
Big banging.
And then I have strawberry and banana, and I got the soursop.
Wow, that is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would get. When I go visit my mother, I'm gonna connect with you to get that for her to give it to her, so she can eat it, cause she likes like sweet stuff. But like this is like a dessert.
It's like a dessert,
It's
right?
like a dessert. That is dope.
Thank you. Yeah. It's best chill.
Better than the first one. That's delicious.
Tell me what's the texture.
The texture is really smooth. It's like, it's applesauce. Even smoother than applesauce, actually, because applesauce is a little gritty.
Right.
Yeah, that's giving really smooth.
It breaks down smoothly.
Yeah.
Is there like an aftertaste that you're feeling? Because there's an initial.
Yeah, it tastes like berries, but it's like really, it's not like a popsicle, a berry popsicle,
Right.
but lightly sweetened.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you like it. Yes, that's that sour sop. All right. Listen, and we standing on it. The best tasting Shemore gel in the world, from 8 to 80, and I'm talking about 8 days to 80 years, 8 days to 80 years old. You can feed it to the babies. Replace all of the Gerber and all of this other stuff. And
That's
these
right.
formulas. We have 8 flavors. This is pure nutrition. The 80-year-old elders who can't eat the solid foods, people who are having issues with the blood and the sugar and whatnot, all the way down to the person at work who wants to just take a little dip to get some energy, the person in the gym who wants a little bit of pre and post workout. You feel me? You could wake up in the morning and put this on some toast. You could put it next to the toast. You could put it next to the eggs and the potatoes and whatever you want. Put it on an oatmeal. V-Cell Seymour, y'all.
Yeah, tap in. We got the so along with everything that we're doing, starting in September, and this is going to be for my audience that is on Patreon. I'm gonna be doing a lot more on Patreon. If I disappear from YouTube for a while, I will be only on Patreon because this is where my paid members, this is where my true supporters, this is where my foundation is, right? So for my Patreons, starting in September, we're going to be doing a monthly live. It's called the Cypher, right? So for the second Wednesday in every month, we will be going live. All right. This is members only. We'll have more than just a town hall meeting. We'll actually have a complete cipher. I'll be bringing experts with me. We'll be bringing tools with us, and we will be working on your business, your brand. I'll be connecting you to some very powerful people. You'll get a chance to pitch some of you'll have pitch opportunities. You'll be able to pitch your services and your products in front of investors and people who can do something with that information. All right. And also for my Rainbow Opal and my Citrine members, we are going to be doing the toolbox. And the toolbox is a monthly drop where we bring you AI prompts for free. We bring you tools, we bring you frameworks, and we bring you the culture. I'm going to be bringing on some heavy hitters inside of the toolbox as well. And in the toolbox, you'll get the equivalent of airdrops. You're going to be getting free tools, free frameworks, free PDFs, free workbooks, and free quote unquote advice from some of the top AI experts in this culture, in this community. That's all I can speak for. I don't know about other communities, but I know inside of this community, we have some heavy hitters. And inside of the toolbox, you'll be getting all of that. Some of the tools that apply to your businesses, we'll find out what your businesses is, and we'll be able to show you automatically in an automated way with our agents what tools and what toolbox you need in order to step your business up. You might put in a goal to say, I want to make $20,000. This is my business. This is what I do. And we'll be able to give you all of the tools step by step, how to use them, which one to use, and then what's the next one to use, and then what's the next one to use, what's how many days you use them, all of that information to get you along your way so you don't have to figure it out, you don't have to guesswork. We'll be able to do the thinking for you. So that is the toolbox, and that's coming in September for all of my Patreon members in the Rainbow Opal tier and the Citrine tier. All right. So let us continue. Once again, shout out to V-Cell and shout out to the A Game. All right. Salute to all of those sponsors for this channel. And thank you for all that you do for us. Let us move forward. And we will be having our good brother Knowledge Born Allah on the show in a few days. We're going to drop the flyer for that. He has some powerful information that he's going to share. Okay. So, Backyard Self-Reliance Guide. Transform your property into a sustainable paradise. This brother right here, Brother Farrakhan, I'm aiming to bring him on to the channel as well to interview him. He's been doing a lot of work in the community. He is one of the caretakers of Hereafter Farms. Hereafter Farms. He's been doing some work in the community, especially with the off-grid, in the off-grid space, and with selling a lot of land. All right, so I'm going to have him on the show so we can ask him some questions and hear from the good brother very soon. All right, water management. Collecting rainwater from roofs, store in barrels and tanks, and use drip irrigation to minimize waste. This is something that you can do right now. This is something that you can do right now, even if you don't even live in a house. You could set it up to where you could collect rainwater, right? If you're not even collecting rainwater from a roof, I would say have some barrels somewhere where rainwater falls and be able to begin to collect it, right? Store it in barrels, store it in tanks, and use the drip irrigation to minimize waste. You don't have to use it for drip irrigation. You could store it. Off-grid power. Solar panels and small wind turbines can power tools, lights, and irrigation pumps. Okay. Composting. Food preservation. Medicinal garden. Very important. Growing healing herbs for teas, salves, and natural remedies, right? The herbs have use cases beyond just using them internally. They are salves, they are teas that you can drink, elixirs and things of that nature, and other natural remedies, spices, flavors. They have many use cases. A root cellar. What about more root cellars? Store root vegetables and preserves in cool, dark conditions for months, right? Root cellars, something that we should be more invested in. Vertical gardening. Maximize growing space by training plants upward on trellises and towers, right? Something that you put on the side of the house, you feel me? Side of the building, yeah, it can happen. Season extending. Greenhouses, cold frames, and row covers let you grow food year round, right? So boom, the top 10 blackest cities in America for August 2026. So South Fulton, Georgia, that's where Spence City lives, right? That's where Spence City headquarters is. So Spence City headquarters is in the most blackest city in America, ladies and gentlemen. That man's dreams, AI to acres, his dreams came true in the blackest city in America, inside of Black Atlanta. Then we got Jackson, Mississippi. A lot of family taps in from Jackson, Mississippi. I'm connected with family from Jackson, Mississippi. There's land in Jackson, Mississippi. Black owned land in Jackson, Mississippi. Black farmers in Jackson, Mississippi. Opportunities in Jackson, Mississippi. Then we got Detroit. We plugged in heavy in Detroit. Every day we got a whole bunch of Detroit family. What up, though? they pull up. So Detroit, we talking black to you. Memphis, they going out with power right now. They got the whole these all of these places as well got the data centers, and they got the potential blackouts and whatnot. And these are going to be the places where they're going to experiment. These are going to be the places that are going to be either ground zero for our ministry and our works and whatnot and our prepping, right? We don't want to ignore nobody. We don't want to turn our backs on anybody. We want to literally target, geolocate, contact people, communicate with people, reach out to people, holler at some people, knock on some doors and whatnot, drop some flyers. You dig what I'm saying? Post up in some malls, get volunteers when they do the roll call and whatnot, incentivize volunteers that live either in these cities and whatnot or close to them. Do some campaigning for us. Pass out some flyers, pass out some brochures, put some posters up. You dig what I'm saying? Get us on some radio shows and whatnot. Let us tap in and, walk us in, because we don't want to walk in nobody's cities and whatnot. We want to be walked in. We want to be walked in, you know? We want to be walked in the same way that if anybody comes to Atlanta and they tap in with us, we walk you in, right? Baltimore, Miami Gardens, Augusta, Georgia, Shreveport, Louisiana. I could say faithfully that I know people in each one of these cities and whatnot, but I know that my network is a part of all of these cities. This is what I know, and I could show the analytics. This is a part of my network, right? This is a part of the F.A.C.T.S initiative. This is a part of the KT Aliens. This is a part of the Know the Ledge network. So I would rather start there. Let's start from the top down. Let's start from the top down. This is the top. This is the cream of the crop. This is where the most melanin is contained. If they wanted to destroy melanin, if they wanted to disrupt the melanin, they would attack. They would probably drop. They would disrupt these areas. Okay, this would be the heart of where the pulse or the spark comes from. You don't know who's in these places, but I do know that we could start out in some of these places. And these are not bougie places. These are not expensive places. These are not places where the real estate, these are still somewhat affordable. So we would fare better if we were to service these communities with microgreens, if we were to service these communities with preparation practices on self-defense, if we were to service these communities and find out where the labor force is in these communities, build some warehouses in these communities, put some gardens in these communities, solve the issue of food deserts, pull up some food trucks, do some scanning, some biometric scanning, find out what people's ailments are, and bring in the practitioners into the community to help heal them. Sound bowl healing, herbal healing, ancestral quantum transformation healing by ways of our good sister angelic alchemy, right? Cacao healing, some tobacco healing. You dig what I'm saying? Some elixirs, some Geechee tea. All of these things are possible. I would rather go where the melanin is concentrated, irregardless of whatever issues they have. The more issues they have, the more solutions you have. The more issues they have, the more opportunity you have to provide solutions. You're a social entrepreneur. You're looking for problems. You're a disaster, quote unquote. You're into the disaster, quote unquote, industry. You're here to help in a sustainable, conscious way, though, in a more ethical way, in a way that speaks to the fact that you love your people. You don't got to say it. You don't have to brag about it. You just got to do it. Right? I would say that if we have a self-sustaining community, if we serve these 10 cities right here, regardless of where our community is, if we focus on this list and another list with 10 others, and then maybe another list with another 10, right? Because we want to go to the blackest cities in America. We want to go to the top 10 cities that have the top GPT of black people in America. like Silver Springs and whatnot. We're going to PG County and stuff like that. We're going to the top 10 blackest cities with the highest GPT growth. Then we're gonna go to the 10 blackest cities with medical issues like STDs, AIDS, and cancer. Right? Yeah, I don't even see Gary, Indiana in here. I don't know why, but Gary, Indiana is not in there. Because I've mentioned that because once again, you want to show up where you can help the people at. And we have help. We have we got we yeah, people in our community is they saving lives. They are saving lives. They got answers. All right. So how to prepare for a 7-day blackout. No study. We come out with these we send you workbooks, we send you prep guides. You feel me? We build a website, right? And then we have an app. These are the things that we'll begin to memorize. I'm just showing you I'm showing you these memes. Look, the AI is so advanced that I could literally take these memes right here and upload it into the AI, Replit, Lovable, shoot, Chat GPT at this point, Fable 5, Anti-Gravity, and I could literally say build an app that does all of the things that you see on these memes, and it will build it right now. I don't even. I mean, I literally could. If I'm lazy, that's a lazy builder. That's a lazy builder. But one that's meticulous and pays attention to detail and does it step by step, you sky's the limit. I just threw $1 billion idea out there for the freebie. Sky's the limit. So yeah, the brother with the plastic gas, so we could make our own absorption refrigerator. We literally could pull up on him and get up on him. We literally could pull up on a good brother and build with him. So here's to prepare water, store it, conserve it, and treat it. Right, the water we've been talking about that. So we're gonna start with our water preparation by beginning to gather water and also get these water, not the water bottles, more say, but the water jugs. Right, and if you could pull up to a spring, if you could pull up to a well, if you could pull up on Mama Kali, then you could get some real good water. Do that about 5 times to 6 times a year. And by the 3rd year, no one can scare you. Food. Keep simple meals ready, right? You saw the video where I showed you how dude was storing all his food. And I'm going to show you in a minute how we could get our food rations all the way up for the low right now. Lighting, right? The number one thing when the lights go out is that you want to have a lighting source. You want to have the head, the thing that you could put on. You don't have to hold something. Your hands is free, and you have the light on your forehead, right? Then you also want to have a flashlight with a flashlighter, but you also want to have one of those, the canisters, this thing right here, the lanterns, right? Safe cooking, right? Hot pots and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? For the road, you want that. Power and communication. You have a charger always charged up, at least 2 of them on 100, just laying somewhere waiting for you that you could just grab and go. And then you got to have these radios, safety, first aid kit, and of course the blicky. They didn't have the blicky up there, but you want a weapon. And if you draw the weapon, you better be ready to use it. If you draw the weapon, you better be ready to use it. But you're going to need weapons. If you don't have a record, if you're not a felon and whatnot, you should be taking full advantage of your Second Amendment. Store that shit high. I'm talking about stack them high. You could never have enough weapons. Dead ass. And if there was a crisis and you had weapons in your house and you needed black men to protect you, there's no better way. There's no much of a love language than to tell a black man, In my basement, I got mad weapons. You wanna be loved on? You know what I'm talking about? You want a Wesley Snipes stroke? Tell a black man as a black woman that, yo, I got a whole army supply of weapons for you and gang. Oh my goodness. So here's a smart 1-acre animal homestead layout, right? Here's a smart 1-acre animal homestead layout. Something that you could put on 1 acre right now, okay? And have you living good, where you not missing the block, where you not missing the city, where you're not missing NYCHA. You're not missing living on the 44th floor of the projects, where you're not missing living on top of niggas, where you're not missing no neighbors. 1 acre, and you set it up with the duck in the air, the duck area in the pond, the chicken coop, the orchard, the rash with the pasture, a feed storage shed, a compost area, a little greenhouse, a kitchen garden with raised beds, right? You got a little utility water zone, huh? You keep 4 feet paths for carts and moving access. Main access from road. You have main access from the road. Rabbit housing. You leave at least 20 to 50 feet buffer from the cabin for odor heavy uses when possible, right? You don't want to have all of the rabbit housings. You want to have it 25 to 50 feet buffer from your cabin for odor heavy uses, because it could get funky, you know what I mean, with these animals, okay? You have some parking access when people pulling up. You have parking access for them, and you have service areas. Boom. There you have it. Here's your off-grid barnyard, right? This is a resilient animal farm setup. You have a solar barn. So you build the barn, but you build a solar barn, an elevated water tank, right? An elevated water tank, a solar barn and dry feed. Then you have your cattle with your rotational paddocks. Then you have your goats and your sheep. You know what I mean? Then you got the quarantine pen. You have covered manure compost, a chicken coop and a covered run, a predator safe perimeter, keep them damn wolves and all of them out, a pig shelter and a wallow, and then a vegetated stream buffer. That is not hard. That is not hard to do. All of these unhoused men, all of these men that are unemployed, all of these homeless men, what are we talking about? Atlanta got 50,000 homeless men. All of these unhoused people, you mean to tell me that they can't build no damn farms? You mean to tell me that their hands don't work? If they gonna sleep on the street, they could sleep in a tent. What are we talking about? If they could sleep in the streets on the curb, then they'll sleep in the outhouse, or they'll sleep in the guest house, or they'll sleep in the tent on a hammock. What are we talking about? They just want to eat. As long as they don't eat the chickens, nigga, then they are a viable workforce. Yes, they got to put all that work in. Let's check this out again, right? This is how you walk through these waters. This is how you walk through the swamp. This is how you're able to walk through any type of, flooded areas and whatnot. That's your chair on the go, right? That's your sink on the go. When they say getting your memory back, for everybody that's getting their FBA memories back, for everybody that's getting their indigenous Indian memories back, when the feather starts to kick in and whatnot and the memory comes back, this is what you remember. These are the things that we used to do naturally. This is some of the things that you do naturally. We did this.
Hey guys, my name's Lane and I want to welcome you to...
Do your videos like this. One blicky in your hand, because that is your constitutional right. Don't allow nobody to shame you because you have a damn gun in your hand, a weapon in your hand. Don't let nobody shame you to out women, children, adults, grandparents. Don't ever feel no type of way. Do videos with your weapon in hand. That is a great message to send. That is a wonderful message to send. While you're talking about your prep, while you're talking about the how you're preparing, have your weapon on you. You don't gotta hold it per se, but don't feel ashamed to brandish, my niggas.
To our underground bunkers somewhere in Indiana. It goes for miles. See all that? There's stacks of it. I would say 50 people, 10 years.
Look, he said Indiana, right? That's Gary, and Gary, Indiana's where he didn't say Gary, but he was in Indiana in an underground bunker, prepared and ready and not sweating nothing. The lights go out for 10 days. Shit, I need a break. I'm going to play GT6 in a bunker. I'm good. If they come in here, they not leaving out of here. I have my radio going and let me know when it's time to come upstairs. What the fuck? You ain't missing nothing. You ain't missing a goddamn thing.
40 people, 12, all kind of stuff. Pancakes over there. We got mounds of pancakes. Hundreds of pancakes. Mounds of pancakes. Noodles. We check the stock on it from time to time. Throw out what's bad. A lot of coffee. All our meats are down there. Apple sauces. That's rice. You got your white balsamic vinegar for salad. We got all of our powder, bread flour. We got our Lowry salt seasoning. What you see here is rice and beans. You got pinto beans. You got rice and white beans. We got beans for days. And this is all Augusta Foods. Augusta Farms. Look into Augusta. It's a good prepper food. It lasts 30, 40 years. It's good, and it's good for you. It's not full of sodium.
Write all that shit down.
This is hundreds of thousands of dollars right there. Stuff. So this is hundreds of thousands of
I
dollars.
think he's got like 400,000 of it. Because all your money's in this fucking meat over here. So now we got our syrups.
So what if that was the new balling? What if that's the new balling? Niggas talk about they balling. That's balling. That's the new balling. That has to be guarded like an army base.
Stop hoarding bottled water. That wall of cases
At least
in
they
your
got
basement
something to
isn't
guard.
a water plan. Those 2-year dates, that's the bottle failing, not the water. Warm plastic goes permeable and absorbs every odor around it. Worse, 30 cases can disappear.
The thing about them prepping for years is we literally could get all of that in one weekend. Just if we come together as a collective, we literally could get all of that in one weekend, right? So if there's 52 weeks in a year, every weekend or every week, every city in America, we could stock it like that collectively at a $20 increment, right? At a $20 increment, we literally could build out underground bunkers in 52 cities collectively for $20. It don't matter how long it took them to do it. We could do that in a weekend.
Appear in days for a family of 4.
Dead ass.
Massive space.
That's a U-Haul
tiny
truck
payoff.
and Sam's
Do
Club.
this instead.
That's a U-Haul. That's 2 U-Hauls and Sam's Club, Costco's, and Restaurant Depot. Like, walk with me. Let's talk about it.
3 layers. First, store water in stackable food-grade HDPE containers. More water, far less wasted space. Second, capture it. Keep a bathtub bladder nearby. At the first storm, boil notice, or outage, fill it immediately. Third, treat it with a gravity filter. Rain, pool, or creek water becomes usable. Stored water runs out. A filter keeps working. Save this before the taps go dry. Follow for more survival tips. Comment the word SMART and I'll DM you the video on how you can create an on-demand water supply for your family.
5 things that will be harder to get after shit hits the fan than food. Reliable information after an emergency. Bad information travels faster than good information. Rumors can send people into blocked roads, crowded streets, or into danger that doesn't even exist. Have more than one way to get reliable information. An emergency radio, weather alerts, local emergency alerts, ham radio, police scanner. You don't need to be the first person to know, but you need to be able to confirm what you hear so you can make smart decisions. Prescription medications. The food in your pantry, you can probably stretch that if you had to. Most people can't stretch prescription medications. A missed refill can be a lot more dangerous than getting low on groceries. Have a backup supply, if possible, of all the medications you and your family members take, and, ideally, a backup supply of antibiotics. But Derek, I can't just get a prescription for antibiotics. Actually, you can. There are a number of online companies that do this. You go online, you fill out a health questionnaire, a doctor reviews it, approves your prescription. They market these to preppers and people who travel a lot. The company that I found has the best low-cost basic kit, Ozio Medical. The other thing I like about them, if you want more of one particular medication, you can add that onto your card at checkout. If you want to check them out and save an additional 10%, write RX down in the comments and I'll direct message you a link to the company with the coupon code. Cash. When the grid goes down, ATMs aren't working, credit cards aren't working, your cell phone isn't working, cash is king. But Derek, in a real collapse, cash will be useless. I'm going to invest in brass and lead. Yeah, okay, if it's a Mad Max scenario and you need to just get fuel out of the wasteland, cash is useless. It's just paper. Real crises, when the grid goes down and end is in sight, cash is king. Clean water. After a collapse, even if water is available, clean water may not be. What's worse, people will drink contaminated water, then get sick, and try to seek medical help that may not be available. Store water before you need it and have the means to both filter and purify it. 2 different things. If the tap water's running and you're unsure about it, hit it for a rolling boil, 1 minute. Fuel. It's what keeps cars moving, generators running, chainsaws cutting, and in some cases, homes heated. When shit hits the fan, gas stations will go empty before you know it. The lines will be so long, sitting in them will be pointless. You don't need to hoard gasoline. That can be dangerous, but you should certainly have some on hand to get you through. I've done videos on gas storage before. In a nutshell, metal containers, gas stabilizer, ethanol-free fuel. Follow for more prepper tips.
The brother asks,
Want a raging campfire that produces zero smoke?
In the off-grid community you plan on building, taking cash donations. So on Friday, August the 28th, we are going to go live. All right. We are going to start our donation gathering on Friday. Everybody who sends an email will be contacted. Okay. Everybody that sends an email, you will be contacted. This will go live. This will be a crowdfunding campaign that is going to be very transparent. We'll have everything written out, broken down, so everybody knows the steps that we are going to be taking in our roadmap. All right. I am not accepting any donations for this project right now until we get everything correct and put it behind a paywall where everything will be transparent. All right. So let's continue, please. Thank you for that question, though.
And stays completely hidden? You need to build a Dakota fire hole. First, dig a main chamber about a foot deep, shaped like a jug, narrow at the top and wide at the base. Then, on the upwind side, dig a second angled tunnel that connects directly to the bottom of your main pit. This creates a natural vacuum. Cold air gets sucked down the vent, feeding fresh oxygen directly into the coals. The result is an underground blast furnace that burns twice as hot, boils water faster, and hides your flames from a distance. Comment survival for more grid down secrets and hit follow.
So
I was recently told that I was fear-mongering for talking about Gary, Indiana yesterday. So let's talk about some facts and add some context. In 2008, the EMP Commission ran a simulation. That simulation came to the conclusion that if the United States were to be hit with an EMP, or the power grid were to go down, there were two estimates. That within a year, the first says 2/3 of the population would. The second says 90% of the population would. This month, Georgia, Arizona, and Gary, Indiana have faced blackouts, while Texas is saying that their power grid is extremely unstable and in danger of failure. 2 days ago, this came out. So I'm not saying I know shit about shit.
Remember, Texas has Elon Musk in them pulling on the grid. Memphis has Elon Musk in them pulling on the grid. Virginia has the most data centers in America, right? Gary, Indiana was tied in to the data centers, right? Their company called NIPCO was tied in with the data centers, and that was pulling on their NIPSCO. It was pulling on their grid. So you want to do the research on all of the cities, especially the black cities right now that have these data centers, because those data centers are what they're going to use to collapse the grid and blame it on the data centers. The whole thing about the data centers, they're stealing the water and blaming it on the data centers, and then they're going to collapse the electrical grid and blame it on the data centers, when whole time the data centers are processing human beings and plasma inside the data center. The data centers are the equivalent of the blood plasma centers, but only this time the data centers is taking the data, and the data is inside of the brain. The data is the DNA, and the data is the biogenetics, and the data is the genome, and the data is the memories and things of that nature through the neural links. Don't let them play with you. Right? Don't let them play with you. When they came out and they said that they want to Thanos snap and reduce the population in half, and all of these people who you know who these people are that I'm speaking about, and they're all behind this, then you could kind of see the writing on the wall. All of the food recalls, all of the food plants that are being closed down, all of the droughts, right? All of the grids, all of the electrical collapse, all of the warmings of the superstorms and the El Ninos and all of that. Pay attention. And this is not fear mongering. This is conscious awareness. Okay. This is playing chess on different levels. So first Gary, now Memphis, now another city is left without power. Right? There's a pattern of what we're seeing right now. Okay? There's a pattern. And it's at this point, it's almost undeniable. This is not happening in white cities. This is not happening in areas, rural areas and whatnot.
But am I fear mongering? Or am I just paying attention? What do I know though? Just a nigga in a mountain eating a rambutan.
My name is Jarius Adams, and here's what you need to know. You remember when we talked about residents of Gary, Indiana going more than 2 weeks without power? Well, they still don't have power, but the same thing is happening in Memphis, Tennessee. A severe storm came through Memphis this weekend with winds up to 60 miles an hour. It impacted 130,000 Memphis light, gas, and water customers. And even this Sunday, there's 100,000 people that are still impacted without electricity. The Memphis Light, Gas, and Water says that this is a multi-day project, and they said that full restoration won't happen until probably this Thursday. That's more than a multi-day. That's almost a week. Can you imagine the things that are needed? Now, they said they're prioritizing treatment plants and hospitals and places that, you know, quote unquote, need it faster. But there are folks that are at home on ventilators and need breathing treatments and things that need to be plugged up to electricity. This is really dangerous, and it's seeing it in so many predominantly black communities. First Gary, Indiana, now Memphis, Tennessee, and it seems like they're ongoing. We have to have a conversation about emergency response or maybe preventative measures, because this can't continue to happen. And the question may be, are communities prepared for extreme weather events? Because losing power is not just an inconvenience. You're talking about refrigeration, medical equipment, the things people need, air conditioning, right? Memphis, Tennessee in the summertime, I'm from Mississippi, I know it is hot. Folks need air. And having to wait almost a week to have your electricity restored is kind of ridiculous, especially by a company that I'm sure if you're late paying your bill, your electricity will be cut off. So stay tuned. We're going to follow for more.
Gary, Indiana has quietly been absorbing the cost of data center deals related to NIPSCO after a 20% share was taken out, and no one's talking about the core problem of why we are going on day 12 in the dark. Back in 2024, BIP, or Blackstone Infrastructure Partners, one of the world's largest alternative asset managements, took a 20% stake in NIPSCO. They are heavily invested in digital infrastructure, data centers, fiber optic networks, and cell towers. Following the acquisition of 20% in NIPSCO, there started to be tax hikes that were absolutely insane. In July of 2025 and early 2026, the IRUC approved a 16.75% electric base rate increase. This added roughly $23 per month to the average resident bill. Key on the point average, because this was different for Gary, Indiana. Now, just in August of this year, right before the storm, NIPSCO got approved to hike everyone's bill by $257 million for a rate tracker increase. Gary was hit with the highest tax hike, meaning that residents effectively paid more relative to their income in the rate structure approved by the IURC. Large politically connected individual customers, such as nearby steel mills and BP refinery, basically did not receive those same hikes. Due to them not paying their fair share, there was a disproportionate share of the financial burden, meaning what they didn't give to the other communities, they passed off on Gary, Indiana, and we paid significantly more to keep up for other financial households. A lot of surrounding areas were prioritized over Gary, Indiana, as we are still in the dark. 20,000 people remain without power. Despite carrying the financial burden of the surrounding cities and paying triple because they have cut deals due to data centers and updated infrastructure, we received help last. That is the problem with NIPSCO, and it is deeper than what you guys think.
What they are doing is exposing our
Call
weaknesses.
to action.
Check this out.
If you are a celebrity, an actor, a basketball player, a singer, an artist, and you have a net worth of more than $10 million and you reside in the state of Georgia, and it is a bunch of you, it's many of you, I have met you personally. I lived in Buckhead for 8 years. I bounced at bars. I did personal security. I've sold you art. If you live in the city of Atlanta or the state of Georgia, you are a celebrity, this is a call to action. I am requesting for you personally, if you remember me, if you remember my face, I'm making a call to action to y'all personally to come together and pool your money together. I'm not asking you individually. Pool your money together, create a nonprofit organization for the state of Georgia.
That's the brother that made my
for
piece.
underprivileged, underserved communities, that I'm asking you to pool your money together for and create a nonprofit, because there are many man-made orchestrated events that can occur in the state of Georgia, in Atlanta and surrounding areas and communities. These will not be natural disasters. A lot of them won't be. Let's look at Gary, Indiana, for example. We need for you to pool your money together. Should I call out names people that I have personally met? Shaquille O'Neal, Usher, Tyrese, Lee Daniels, The Rock, Jeezy, T.I., The list goes on. I have met y'all personally. I have pictures, videos with you. I have been in some of your homes. I have attended your children's birthday parties. Okay. I need for you all to preemptively, which means before tragedy occurs, pull your money together and create a nonprofit organization. People who reside in the state of Georgia, and this is for any state that, for that matter, all celebrities and actors, if you have a residence, we should not have to depend on government assistance in times of tragedy. People going out without power, food, etc. Y'all can come out of your pockets, personal pockets, yes, your personal money, and you can pool that money together and you can bring about change. We do not need to depend on government assistance. There are things that are happening. We're in a different era. We're in a different time. There are people being starved out for their land, etc., and for personal vindictive reasons, okay? And so we need for you all to come together, create a nonprofit for your tax credit or whatever you need. And we need for you to provide the assistance. We don't need the government assistance. We need your assistance. And we need it to be done before tragedy strikes these communities. I'm asking you personally, if you remember me, let's do it. Call to action.
So that's my jeweler right there. And I'm glad that the streets are talking. I'm glad that people are feeling the same way. And this right here, right? Let's go back a little bit, right? All of these celebrities that are in the Atlanta area that speak highly about Atlanta and what Atlanta is to them and what Atlanta means to them. Some of these artists, not all of them, contributed into the property value of Atlanta neighborhoods plummeting and whatnot because some of their music aided and abetted in the quote unquote, what would I say? They aided and abetted in the dismal state of affair, the values being downgraded. They aided and abetted in the downgrading of the property value in Atlanta, right? Art appreciates in value, but it also depreciates in value. So the music that was coming from Jeezy during the Dope Boy era, the music that was coming from Thug during the Gangbang era, the music that was coming from Baby during the era that he was coming up, the music that was coming from the Trap Museum, out of the Trap Museum, the music that QPC in them, the dude that just had the heart attack, QP, and also Coach K, that music was detrimental to the minds, to the bodies, and to the spirit of what Atlanta represents. To be honest with you, if you want to keep it 1,000, it didn't appreciate the value because if people are going down, they're getting locked up, they're getting bodied and whatnot, they're not building, they're not prospering, they're not there for their families, then what are we talking about? The values that the Real Housewives of Atlanta expose black women around the world to, did that increase? Did that appreciate the value of black women? Did that increase the value? Because it's all about appreciation of value. If you can appreciate or do you depreciate? Are you an asset or a liability? Did you help the people or did you hurt the people? Did you add on to the prosperity of where you live or did you collapse the property value? That should be the assessment that we got to ask. Right? So for people that want to change, nobody is going to them to ask them. You literally got to ask them just so they could be on record as to always to never say that they were never asked. Now, if they naturally had it on their heart, nobody would have to ask them. But it has gotten to the point where you just have to ask because closed mouths don't get fed. You just got to ask. You don't know what nobody got on their heart. You don't know what nobody ready to do and turn around and do differently. But you should at least ask with the intention that none of them are going to do nothing. None of them are going to do a goddamn thing. But it does help to put it in their face that, fam, you help bring the value of life in my city down. You help bring the value of the property down. Dope boys don't increase the property of no neighborhoods. Let's be clear. I don't care how much you like them, and I don't give a fuck what your favorite song is. Dope boys bring down the property value of their neighborhoods. They bring down the lives of good people. Right? All of them people caught up in the feds, the brothers that know how to draw and shit like that, they smart, they can run a business. Nigga, they listening to trap music until they got trapped. So all I'm saying is, if you are responsible for the depreciation of life through your message, the only thing that you could do at this point is to start a motherfucking non-for-profit and spend that shit. Put some money, sock it to our pocket. Put the money up so you could build, so the people don't have to continue to live in the killing fields, because your music helped the killing fields become more field-like. You were the fertilizer that helped grow the shit that a lot of people are stuck in right now. So when the hell do you even do what? Fuck that. Y'all let these niggas get away on too easy. Oh nah, they no. Little do you know, they're running. These niggas are running around like they're doing something for people. They're running around like they're the mayors of these cities. They're running around like they need the fucking key to the city, like their whole slate is clean. Cause they had a Black Lives Matter t-shirt on. What are we talking about? These niggas, they don't feel like they failed us. They don't feel like they failed us. They feel like they are kings. Black excellence.
Create a nonprofit organization for the state of Georgia. Okay, for underprivileged, underserved, for Georgia, in Atlanta, Indiana, for The Rock,
and then
Jeezy, T.I.
Another group of people who, if this was really about the people, if this was really about seeing some shit going, like I got the power to make a change, right? To see calamity and be like, nah, I got this. I got this. This shit is nothing. This is $50,000 is like $5. Look, I know how to get money out of Navy Federal. That's what these financial people say. I know how to get business credit. I know how to get debt. I know how to walk out of the bank with 200 bands. Let me show you. Buy my course. If you could do all of that, why you can't walk into Costco's and swipe $10,000 for water and bring that shit to these people? Why you couldn't go into Home Depot and get 100 generators? So with all of the issues that was going on last week over F.A.C.T.S, because these people, the majority of them was in Atlanta with that whole F.A.C.T.S fiasco, and whether they agreed with the brothers said or whether they disagreed and whatnot. Gary, Indiana was the litmus test to be like, which one of you niggas is really about that life? Gary, Indiana was the litmus test to be like, who's not just talking? Who's really here to help? Right? Nobody helped. They was just talking. They was pointing fingers at these niggas, but they wasn't helping. Killer Mike had the lady on his show. He might have did 3 episodes already. I did not see him say a fucking word. He didn't go live about Gary. They want to talk about Nolan Wells. Nolan Wells is dead. There's nothing that y'all could do for Nolan Wells. These people in Gary, Indiana is fucking alive, bro. Like, look at this list. They have something called Billionaire Row. Billionaire Row. So if I was under fire and I was EYL, I would call Steve Harvey and niggas on Billionaire Row and do a live apology and say, yo, I got $100,000 for Gary, Indiana. And I apologize to black people. My partners right here, they're going to match this money because there's all type of programs inside of corporate where that's a tax write-off. That's a tax write-off. Are y'all even aware of that? Do you know they got 1-for-1 programs? They got brevity and all of that. They got sponsorship programs. They got programs where I could get volunteers from any Fortune 500 company to come and work for me for a number of hours, and they will get paid by their company. All I have to be is a nonprofit. Do you know about that? Do you know as a non-for-profit, I could walk into Costco's and literally I could walk into their warehouse and walk out of there with pallets. You could gift 600K and write it off. Facts. Do you know if you work at Apple Computers, you could gift me $10,000 and write it off? You could be like, yo, I never in my life had anybody from any corporate American structure ever give me $1 out of the 20 some odd years that we was out here doing the God's work, doing the work that we've been doing, regardless of what work we doing, is always on levels. We do multiple work, but we do it on different levels. So if I'm outside on 125th Street, when I'm selling shirts, that's part of the work, because the shirts are a fucking lesson in and of itself. The Kings County is teaching niggas as they're wearing it. You know what I'm talking about? Then we get on camera with Sonetta TV, Brother Rich, Baba TV, Nola Ledge Radio. That's another level of work. Then you put the album out and the music out. That's another level of work. Then you go and do the lectures around America. That's another level of work. Then you get with these organizations that's doing things and y'all link up and y'all do collaborations and y'all do things together and help people out. That's another level of work. There's levels to this shit. But there's never been a time when none of the rappers, none of the corporate niggas, nobody ever came and was like, yo, from my non-for-profit to your fucking movement, to your initiative, to what it is that y'all doing. We put facts out there. We put the evolution will be digitized out there. We put courses, lectures, AI accelerator, techno bowl, all of these things. But it's the people, y'all. It's not the fucking celebrities. It's the people. That's who believe in us. That's who's there for us. That's who's backing us. The people. I don't call them followers. The people. The same people that I be saying, yo, make sure you pass the microphone around to the people. I'll pay for the overtime, but I want to know who's in the building. Let's just pay the late fee because there's some legends in the audience. I just want to get them on record. I want them to hear themselves. Yo, what's your superpower? What's your gift? I'm glad that even I went to a 19 Keys event. He even started doing that, passing the microphone around. Yo, what do you do? What's your powers? You feel me? We've been doing that for damn near a decade because I've always said that the power is in the crowd. We are who we've been looking for. Stop wasting the fucking people's time. And then when I put the call out and y'all send me emails, I'm like, damn, look at when I did Imaginarium. Before you get into the Imaginarium, you got to fill out who you are, what you do, what's your powers, what's your skills, what's your gifts. People is giving me all type, the thermal engineers, nuclear physicists, artists, actors. You know what I'm saying? PhD students, lawyers, doctors. I got all type. That's why I say my network is incredible. I've introduced certain people to other people in my network and changed their lives exponentially in a day's time. My network is my net worth. I know who the fuck I have around me. Everywhere that I go, my face card is good because of the work that I've put in over the decades. So there was so many opportunities that was missed by these brothers, right? Who were embroiled in all type of scandal and whatnot. They had the opportunity to show where their heart was at. They had the opportunity to show that they were there for the people. They had the opportunity to show that they were actually thinking and their minds were moving past their ego and whatnot. They easily could have tapped any one of these fucking celebrities. They don't even have any friends, because if I was a millionaire black celebrity and whatnot, or if I was a billionaire black celebrity, I would have had my secretary Ben call them and was like, shut your mouths and get off the internet. And when the next time you do a show, just bring me on and I'm going to give the people some money. I'm going to help the people out. The people want to know that you're going to help them out. There's nothing that you could ever do to turn that ship around because the people are always going to see you as a fucking sellout. You already exposed yourself. You said that you were going to get down with the white folk and this wasn't a black event. And theoretically, you never really apologized for that. You never said anything contrary to that statement. So therefore, that still stands as it is. And you haven't shown that you're willing to take your billionaire friends and spend some money on black people when they really fucking need it, bro. That's not what we're seeing. So the situation in quote unquote Gary, Indiana, it could have got some light shined on it if those brothers would have been talking about it a lot more, but not talk, because regular people was talking about it. There needs to be a group of our people that have the resources to do it. I am not going to spend my career critiquing these men and women. I'm not going to spend my career wasting energy about what somebody else should be doing. That shit to me is cute, but it's corny. I have the power, I have the prestige, I have the potential, and I have the network to literally do everything that they're not doing. You understand? And I have the balls and I have the motherfucking backbone to tell people like that what they're not doing, but I got to do what they're not doing before I say it. I don't want to be hypocritical. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be hypocritical. But nobody is going to save the people, bro. I mean, God damn it. You would think, but it's not finna happen. It's not finna happen. So even with all of the people that's getting money and you know what I mean, there needs to be another message, another leader, some other type of leadership in that space to help those people who have the resources begin to feel like they love their people and to show it and to be more social entrepreneurs and to solve more problems and whatnot. Because the first layer of problems have been solved. A lot of people got out of poverty, and that's good. A lot of people got pulled up out of poverty, and that's good. That is a great thing. That's phase one. That's phase one. We need phase two now. We need phase two. Phase two is we need to get it together.
I want you to start thinking differently in case something were to happen and you needed to grow your own food. I've shown you how to make seed starting paper from food containers and seed starter pods from toilet paper rolls. Thrifty gardening hacks is how I built my farm. As a homeless teen parent that experienced food insecurity, I dreamed of being self-sustainable and grocery shopping in my own backyard. I don't just give you guys ideas to grow food, I use them myself and on our farm. Let's take a walk around the farm and I'm going to show you some of my favorite thrifty gardening hacks. First up, the fluffy butt hut. Now you might think building a chicken coop needs to break the bank, but not here. I built this beauty out of pallets and pool noodles. Yep, you heard that right. Pallets for the structure and pool noodles for the custom cabin vibe. Next up, bucket gardening. You can find tons of random buckets on our farm filled with food from potatoes, corn, and squash. Buckets are fantastic for growing food. You can often find them very cheap and even free. Who says you need a lot of space to grow food? Next up, let's talk about my rain gutter gardens. Instead of buying pricey end cups, I use pool noodles. Now onto my garden bed. These might look like your typical raised beds, but they've got a secret weapon. Wine bottles. I use them as oils for self-watering. Just bury them neck deep, fill them with water, and let the magic happen. Plus, it's a great excuse to drink wine. Cheers to that. Lastly, let's take a look at some of our garden enclosures. These enclosures are made from pallet. They're sturdy, eco-friendly, and best of all, they're free. Why spend money on fancy wood when pallets do the job perfectly? So there you have it. A little creativity can go a long way in gardening. I hope you've enjoyed this tour. Remember, gardening doesn't have to be expensive. You have the power to grow your own food with thrifty gardening hacks.
So right here, ladies and gentlemen, we have Restaurant Depot. We have the farmers markets. In your city, there should be a farmers market. You could easily look it up. Sam's Club, right? If you're not a Sam's Club member, you might want to get with somebody in our network that is a Sam's Club member that lives in your city or your state. We'll have the network set up to whereas that whoever those persons are, you'll be able to interact with them immediately and sign up to their network. So when you go shopping, you can all go shopping together. Going to Sam's Club and dropping 5 bands to 10 bands at the same damn time, it will get you a lot more than going there to shop individually. Restaurant Depot. Everybody who's melanated that owns a restaurant, you should be putting your people on a Restaurant Depot. Stop being a gatekeeper and let them in, all right? When you go to shop at Restaurant Depot, you will find out that this is the place that you always needed to be. You could buy a lot of food for a very, very low amount. I'm talking about pallets. I'm talking about 50-pound bags. This is where all of the restaurants shop. This is the Home Depot for restaurants. This is the Home Depot for restaurants. So we'll be going on Restaurant Depot tours as a collective. We will be going on Restaurant Depot tours as a collective with $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. We are not playing. We are not being passive. We are not sitting around, and we damn sure not penny pinching. We playing this shit big. We're going big, yo. We're going big, mama. Mama, we're going big. We not playing small. We're going big on this. Costco's. We got Costco's. We got Sam's Club. We got BJ's, right? That's level A. That's tier 1. Restaurant Depot, nigga, that's tier 2. And then there's a tier 3. Restaurant Depot will be tier 2. Sam's Club, BJ, and Costco is tier 1. You still could get a lot out of there. You still could get a lot out of there. They got things like this, the food storage, where you literally could get emergency food supply 30 days, right? 300 servings and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? So the Atlanta State Farmers Market. Look at the farmers market. Look how big the farmers market is, right? They have farmers market in each one of our states. We should either and then when we start growing these greens, and then when we start growing these produce and whatnot, we could now connect to co-ops. We could now connect to farmers market, because one thing people are always going to do, and they're going to eat. One thing that people are always going to do is they're always going to eat. So food is always going to sell, especially when we make that food. Now, you know what happens when we make the food. Now, you know what happens when we make the food. You know what I'm talking about? We ain't talking about raisins in the goddamn potato salad. We talking about healthy food that tastes wealthy. Costco's, Sam's Club, Restaurant Depot. Let's not talk about Walbounds. Let's not talk about Walmart. Let's not talk about none of them places. No overpriced Whole Foods. None of that Trader Joe's bullshit right now. We're talking about buying things that are for our survival. We're talking about buying things that are going to get us in a place where we are going to be, we're confident that we have some type of, preparation and whatnot. We could start with these, but we got other things. There's a tier 3. There's a tier 3, but let's knock out tier 1 and 2 first. Right? Screenshot this. Emergencykits.com. Emergencykits.com. This will get you your emergency kits. They have emergency kits. They have food and water, bags and backpacks, emergency supplies, professional gear, disaster relief, right? I would say maybe a year or two from now, who knows? More than likely, we could be the suppliers of our emergency kits and have our own website. But for right now, this is the site that I recommend, and I'm going to bring more information. We're going to have PDFs, and we'll also have an interactive app that gives you a lot of the info.
If your dad loves his yard, forget
right? So water, free rainwater, water that's coming from the sky. If you live in a place that rains a lot, you might want to take advantage and start storing and start filtering.
boring Father's Day gifts. Beaver just launched a direct-to-consumer flash sale on TikTok. Seriously, stop letting him pay to water his garden. This 100-gallon beast collects free rainwater, dropping his bill to zero. This upgraded model has dual spigots for hoses or cans. Oh my god, it even zips up to block bugs and folds flat for winter. With this Father's Day factory deal, they're selling out fast. Tap the link below and make your dad's day before it's gone.
Been through the desert on a horse with no name. It felt good to be out of the rain.
All right. So for now, that's the end of this presentation at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to come back with phase 2. Okay. We will return with phase 2. But in the meantime, between time, the email is right there. I want everybody to send an email who wants to be a part of this. Even if you are a farmer, if you are anything that you do that has anything to do with our common unity, okay, just send me an email. If you like what you hear, if this is your language, if this is speaking to you, then send me an email. Please don't be on the outside looking in. This is not one of those passive type of calls to action. This is an active call to action right now. This is an emergency call. This is an emergency call to action to my community, to my loved ones, to my friends, and everybody that's out there. Please tap in with me. I'm asking nothing of you. All I'm asking is to use your mind and to lock in with me and to believe in what it is that we're doing. See this as a solution that needs to happen. You feel me? See this as a solution that needs to happen. And we're going to make this happen. You know what I'm saying? I got the approval of my elders. I got the approval of my mother. You know what I mean? So I'm going to carry this thing on my shoulders and I'm going to make some things happen. And you know, we've already been working towards this with the F.A.C.T.S initiative. So this is really right up our alleys. You know what I mean? This is right up our alleys. And this is a challenge that I'm going to stand up for. So with that being said, just a few announcements that we have some things coming up. We will be in New York. So we're going to launch the campaign on Friday, right? I'll be in New York. I'm launching a campaign inside of New York. Might be on 125th Street with a microphone. And we're going to launch the initiative in my home city. It's only right, you know what I mean? Because I definitely want my brothers and sisters that live in the big cities like New York to get out of New York or to have some type of options. The elders who live in New York, who, you know, they want to go into the country, they want to go into the islands, they want to go somewhere outside of the big city because it's just a little too rough for them. You know, I want to show them the options that they have. So we're going to launch that in New York. Then the next day, we're going to be with Ross Ben doing 2026 prediction cycles. So even Ross Ben is going to help us with the predictions as to how to move, when to move, and where to move. I'm going to use the science. I'm going to use the master teachers to help guide us and whatnot. All right. We're also going to do a pop-up shop for Voltron from 7 to 8, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Me and Cambada will be at Nicholas, Brooklyn, playing our album, Voltron. We'll be doing a pop-up. We got CDs, we got T-shirts, we got merch, and we're going to take pictures. We're going to, you know what I mean? We're just going to chop it up with everybody who enjoys that musical project. That's going to be in Brooklyn. Scan the QR code. You will be able to get your tickets. Now, if you're not in Brooklyn, you'll also be able to see what we got going on and be a part of what we got going on online by scanning the QR code. We'll be on Zoom, right? We'll be on Zoom. So you'll be able to tap in with us through Zoom. You'll be able to see us, hear us, and experience what we got going on in Brooklyn. All right. Uncle Hank will be in the building. Sister Cafunia is going to be in the building. Our sister Angelic Ariel, she's going to be opening up for our good brother Ross Ben. She's going to be bringing her she's going to be bringing her compounds, her ancestral tools for quantum transformation. If you didn't get a chance to tap into the show I did earlier this rising with brother Heru, I brought her on as a guest. You'll be able to tap in and see what she's bringing to the table. Monumental information, transformative. I promise you, you don't want to miss this. This is going to be one of those ones right here. New York City, we are back. New York City, we are back. We are in Brooklyn at the world famous Nicholas with Sister Monique for something that you all need. And that is the 2026 prediction cycles from Jason to Janice, bringing back the master teacher Ross Ben. It's been a minute since he's been back in Brooklyn. He will have books on deck. You know what I'm talking about? He'll be dropping this information on your head tops and whatnot. And yes, we are all there for it right now. So yes, and then we got B-Dell coming to Brooklyn September the 20th. Blue Pill will be opening up for our good brother. B-Dell will be in the building. Blue Pill will be opening up. He will be there with him as well. September the 20th. They're going to be at a private library and a theater, okay, in Brooklyn. And then the day before, they'll have a meet and greet on September the 19th where B-Dell will be signing his book, all right? And then there's also an after party at Nicholas on the 20th. So make sure y'all pull up. Shout out to King Simon. Make sure y'all pull up to that. Now, if you haven't gotten the Voltron album, make sure y'all go and get that album right there. This is a classic. I shit you not. This is one for the ages right here. This is one for the ages right here. And people are loving it. They are giving us all type of reviews and feedback. We got fan art and all type of things. So definitely keep rocking that. Keep buying it. Keep supporting it. This is independent. Yeah, this is for us. All right. The QR code for the album is right here. Boop. You can scan that and you could get the Voltron album. We're going to end this with a song that we got on Voltron called Disclosure. And as always, if you want to support the channel, if you want to support the network, if you want to support Know the Ledge, then you could scan that QR code, and any price or any donation or any contribution is highly appreciated. Very thankful. Ashe, I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody. Y'all spent a lot of time with us. It's been 3 hours. You could have been doing anything. This was very impromptu. But yeah, I said, let me go ahead and let me do this. Let me get this message out. Let me talk to the people. Let me share my ideas. Let me get this message out. Let me let the family know what I'm really doing. So there's no confusion as to what's going on. So yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm invigorated. You know what I mean? I'm hyped. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep this thing going. Let's keep the momentum going. All right. So with that being said, this is Disclosure off of the album called Voltron Volume 1. It is only available right now through the website. Okay. We have the digital download and we have the vinyl and the hard copies. They will mail that to you in a short amount of time. All right. But definitely take advantage of what we have to offer. This is our first album in years. But we back like we never left. You know what I'm talking about? We back like we never left. That part. So yeah, let's go.
We the collectors of the art, the thinkers, the doers, the knowers, the architectures of the art. Triple dark moon protectors of the hearts. Triple dark mega yachts, 444 megawatts. Firm biz, nature, Foxy, AZ, Don, Escobar, moving megatons, mega bucks.
Y'all see the y'all see the symbolism? I'm on the track. You standing on the track? Yeah. Y'all see the symbolism?
We the collectors of the art, the thinkers, the doers, the knowers, the architectures of the art. Triple dark moon protectors of the hearts. Triple dark mega yachts, 444 megawatts. Firm biz, nature, Foxy, AZ, Don, Escobar, moving megatons, mega bucks. 444 megatrons, they call mega bus. Went from Sega.
July, what's the dial looking like today? Anything on the upper bands?
Same dead frequencies as yesterday, Juju. Just cosmic background noise.
Doesn't hurt to turn the knob one more time.
Let the story unfold. My ancient aura is gold. It was foretold I would return as a soul.
Hold on, July. Let's see where this signal is coming from.
I'm composed of the sun. My outer garments threaded from stardust, complexion of what they checking at Starbucks.
Voltron Force!
We made it. There it is.
Yeah! Voltron Force!
We actually found them, July!
I'm on the other side where the grass is green. Straight gas be clean as I travel through the beams on your plasma screen.
At the end of time, reality's a simulated game and this is level 9. We travel back to the end of time. We transcended after we invented next-gen AI. Now I know the ledge at the end of time. If life is like a movie, this the ending when you press rewind. Travel back to the end of time. If you don't get familiar with the tech, then you'll get left behind.
Yeah, I took a shot in the dark with a spark of thought, and I hit the target mark with a dart. I could build my own body, break the body apart, and build myself a better body with more optimal parts. Cause I'm intelligent beyond being smart. Born with a sign you can't find on your astrotheology chart. I'm highly exalted, regarded as a god in my art. I'm about to flood your timeline from the top of my art. You have to resurrect Doom to find a doctor is smart. I could sing a song and get the Anunnaki to march.
Shout out to the good brother. That was fire. That was fire. July Lion Wellness. Shout out to July Lion Wellness. Appreciate you, King.
A bus.
I appreciate you. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to end this off with the Voltron, y'all. This Disclosure featuring Red Pill and Cambada. Disclosure. Go get that album.
We the collectors of the art, the thinkers, the doers, the knowers, the architectures of the art. Triple dark moon protectors of the hearts. Triple dark mega yachts, 444 megawatts. Firm biz, nature, Foxy, AZ, Don Escobar, moving megatons, mega bucks. 444 megatrons, they call mega bus. Went from Sega bus and a mega bus as we embark upon a hero's journey. Opening scene in Carlito's Way, laid out on a hero's gurney, staring off afar into the canopy of stars, until it landed me on Mars. Mama, my third eye active, captive. Seventh heaven opened up the third eye atlas on the third eye Thursdays. Voltron formed with bird's eye wordplay via the third eye persons in third grade. Revenge of the blur days, the Vic Mensa, mixed with the elixir Serpenta. Welcome to the center of a mentor. Ugh.
Got the gods excited as I'm strapped up in my captain's chair. Autopilot, spacecraft, I don't have to stare. It's called arriving. Pass through natural air and crack the atmosphere. The daddy's here. Them tinfoil hatters that were gathered there just clapped in chairs. Left the faculty at NASA scared. Donald Trump started acting weird. He just sat and stared. I hit up Billy Carson for a chat. We're galactic pairs. Grab the bear. Acid in a chalice full of dragon tears. Cone-headed, 12-foot giant with a gold melon. Native suit, ants-eyed Christ at the Catholic sphere. Universal soldier, the predator. You travel in the galaxy for challenges. You clash with me, I'll scrap you there. Warlord, I can smell the blood when the battle's near. See the smoke from the disaster that happens after clear. Buoyant, telepathic, empathic seer. I'll imagine atoms somewhere and then astral travel there. It's fact, I swear. Cross 1 billion light years in half a year. I'll teleport through different dimensions like after Alistair. Magic mirror, summon the ghost of the late Delbert Blair. Alistair, Broly, I sat in prayer and my dad appeared. Savage, I'll attack a bear, smack him bare. Handed claws, hit him with the paws like he acting queer. Split his jaw, crack a crown, lost a canine. Ain't no lassie hair. See the teeth flying out his mouth like some babonaire. Catch a tooth, attach it to my stab. Now I have a spare. Stab the bear, wait and pick the scab, then re-stab the bear. Lion heart, 3 eagle eyes, 2 rabbit ears. I like it dark. I see the sound waves that a bat would hear. Rather wear the fact that I have all its natural talents rare. Physical, athletic abilities that I have compared. Bron as a cavalier, Shaq in his magic year. Kobe when he had the fro and Jordan when he had some hair. Vince Carter back on the Raptors when T-Mac was there. Iverson, why we still talking about practice here? Compared to you, Earth is a 3-dimensional massive sphere. Compared to me, Earth is a 2-dimensional flattened square. Oh my, look up in the sky. What's that up there? It's not a comet. Rocks made of ice are not that aware. It's not a drone. Anything else that was manufactured here. It's a craft, cleverly disguised like a mask I wear. Daddy's here, 3-eye atlas in your stratosphere. Galaxy to galaxy, I traffic and I rack a tear. Fuck Earth, all I see is fags and crack addicts here. Everyone's cursed, God is so mad that he had to swear. Say your last prayers, get your bags prepared. When my craft prepares, it means the Revelation chapter's near. You gon' hear a blast and a flash of flare. Blinded, shining like the platinum that a rapper wears. Destroy Earth, leave, look back and cry happy tears. Watch the simulation crash and call Apple cares. Out of gas, I stole it from the sun and caused plasma flare. Gotta say I, then hit me on the app, I got facts to share. Affluence. Then I hack and Palantir and clear the data there.
Altruism, unity, wholeness, precision, authentic love, harmony, healing, activation, tranquility, resilience, consistency, vitality, magnitude, chaos. The rightful ruler's back.